sorry. I didn't hear a damn thing you said.
All right.
And because I was a gazillionaire and I like building so much, I cut that price for free.
The species is dying. The birth rate is plummeting. Women are chopped. But yeah, you know what? Get a fucking cat.
I know even more about grass.
What's up, everybody?
Get a fucking cat.
Theo really hates cats. First he's yelling about my cat.
It kills me every time I hear it. Just the pitch level in his voice when he says it. I just
Fucking get a cat.
Look, I like cats. I like cats. I have a cat. That's the cat that inspired that rant. I like cats. I have a cat. I just think that there's other things we could be focusing on while we're doing my show. My cat is a fucking professional, and he knows to stay the fuck outside while I'm doing this. Welcome to Touch Grass. I'm your host, Theo Snodgrass, comedian and podcaster out of Las Vegas, Nevada. How are you guys doing? What's up, everybody? And hello, panel. How are you guys doing? What's up?
Just dandy. How are you doing, Theo?
Oh, hey, so far so good. Can't complain about the weather.
I'm good.
Hey,
I woke up a whole hour ago.
Move you a little more.
Wait.
Okay, thank you.
Wait, Nate, aren't you 3 hours ahead? How are you waking up an hour ago?
This is what happens when you work second shift. Your body's just on a whole different time span than everybody else.
I'm just hearing excuses.
Hey, you need to kick that habit, son. It's not good for you.
Oh, man. This has been great, though. A lot of fun. Kind of a bummer for news this week, though. Every show I've done this week has been a serious bummer. How about, I don't know about you guys. Are you guys also experiencing that?
Yeah, like everywhere you go, every show you go on, it's like, hey, did you hear about what happened in Minneapolis? It's like, yes. Yeah, dude. I'm tired of hearing about it already. Bringing it up.
Well, to lighten the mood, what you could do is what Sean did over on his show last night, and we could take the BDSM test and find out what kind of kinks we're into.
We could also not do that. Also,
yeah,
another thing.
Mine was perfect. The news for me was pretty good because I had some baby crying about Trump incorrectly. I had Peacemaker like making people not like gory stuff, and then I got to talk about how male feminists are liars who dress up in stupid outfits to make women think they're safe.
Right?
How is Peacemaker the line in the sand all of a sudden?
Because the first episode of season 2 has a 5-minute orgy 2 minutes into the episode.
Oof.
That's an entire season of The Boys. Like, what are these people complaining about?
People don't like The Boys, Nate.
Oh, that's a good point. I thought season 1 of The Boys was very good. And I also enjoyed season 2. I was really happy for Homelander when he found that nice girl. I really thought they were going to make it. That made me happy. I was happy to see him happy. It's weird. Everybody thinks Homelander's the villain. I read it as he's the hero. Is that wrong?
He's just tired of everyone's shit.
Homelander's the character I find the most relatable. He's just awesome at everything, and he's surrounded by idiots, and I relate to that.
That is my favorite part about The Boys and Eric Kripke, the guy who made it, is he's so bad at satire, who he wants to paint as the villain and wants to satirize, is just the good guy.
It's just like, awesome.
Who's just a normal conservative living his best life, and it's supposed to be attacking them, but he failed so badly at it. He's like, he's the hero.
All right, let's say hi to the chat real quick. Let's see who's here. Oh, man. Gemini Silas Archer is here. Normally a lurker, but I'll be here for this one. What's up, buddy? Happy to have you.
Nice.
Happy to have you. Welcome to the show. Scream Queen Selena is here. What's up, Selena? Happy to have you. Welcome to the show. Friend of the channel, Selena. Drunk Emerald Arrow is here. Gross.
Yep, that guy. Boot him from the chat.
Yeah. Weasel, Theo's hair and makeup routine making him late and gay. No wonder he can relate to it. It's one of the best chats we've ever gotten. Thank you, Weasel. Weasel's here. Shield Wall Dragons. What's up, buddy?
What's up? Happy
to be here. Happy you're here. Yeah, dude, it's been a crazy week for news. So this is something I've noticed. This is what I said I said this on Rogues Gallery. I was guest hosting Rogues Gallery yesterday, and I said this on Theocracy earlier in the week. That's enough with the cat. We're done with the cat. We're done with the talking about serious issues. Done with the cat. Okay. So, so people are kind of observing that trans people are more likely to freak out and do violent shit than other demographics. And that's like, oh, why would that be? It's only surprising if you think of them as a civil rights group. But what you're actually doing is you're taking some of the most mentally disturbed men and then pumping them full of estrogen, which is the hormone that makes women crazy, right? Mm-hmm. And you're taking crazy mentally disturbed women and pumping them full of testosterone, which is the hormone that makes men violent. Well, so really you're taking, and all these people are on psych meds too. So you're taking mentally disturbed people and just pumping them full of like drugs and hormones and shit. And that's going to affect their behavior in a not great way.
Do you know what's one of the common side effects of testosterone for women?
What?
Testosterone induced I just forgot the name of it, but it makes them go insane. They like if women are on too high of a dose of testosterone for too long, they literally lose the ability to regulate emotion.
Oh shit! What's up, Paul Hadouken? What's up, buddy?
I don't know why I don't know why everyone's all of a sudden just finding out that they're a lot of them are batshit insane.
Yeah. Okay. So like, there's a compilation, right? There's a compilation. We're actually going to show this. There's a compilation of all the different internet crash outs that we've seen in the last few years. And when you cut them together like that,
I was going to say,
wild.
I already knew this when I saw the infamous GameStop video. Do you remember that one?
Right. Yes. It's ma'am. It's like,
it's ma'am.
Well, the way that they did it is they shoved a ton of transness into your face, and then they didn't actually show you any trans people. So when they represent a trans people, it was either a cisgender because that's not a real term. It's just a normal person pretending to be trans, or it's some mythical, non-existent trans person in question. They hid all the trans people while telling you how awesome they are.
They put all the trans people back in the closet. And bragged about them.
But ours is right. This is a real media strategy. Like the WNBA, this happened to them too, because they told us how great WNBA basketball was and how entertaining it was and what a shame it was that no one was watching it. And then we watched the games and now everybody knows it sucks. So it's like, oh, that's why they don't get paid. Is because the product isn't good. It's like watching Angel Reese miss 12 layups in a row. One of the most popular betting lines on the sports apps is, will Angel Reese make her first shot of the game? And the majority of the time she does not, almost always. And so that's what I'm saying. It's like now, anyway, the WNBA is, I did an episode on this already, but the WNBA thing is a psyop to get men to bet on sports. But Emerald, actually, can we pull up that? I want to start with the Transformer crash out video. So we're just going to watch. When you cut them all together, it's kind of crazy.
Oh,
go ahead.
God.
Oh, wait, but
Angry.
Go out, buy a gun.
It's okay to be angry.
Get out of my face now!
Oh, God.
If you try to stop me from going into a woman's bathroom,
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
be the last mistake you ever make.
It is ma'am.
Find that anger.
Just because. Hey. Okay.
Harness it to do good in the world. This anger.
It's like the beginning of a Netflix documentary.
Anger is probably my primary source of motivation.
You want to call me sir again?
The thing is, you don't have to leave.
You lose everything.
For everything that I do.
Cut that out now, or you'll go home in an ambulance.
You up.
It was a call to action or a call to arms.
Sorry, man. Don't be afraid to show your anger.
Oi.
I'm gonna have nightmares for the next 2 weeks. Thanks, Theo.
Yeah, very unsettling when you cut it together. Now, to be fair, you could probably do that with other guys. Like, you probably find enough clips of guys with man buns crashing out to cut them together into an ominous compilation on the internet. So I'm not. It is a little bit about like you're saying. It's about the editing. It's about the music and it's stuff. But are we okay? I know noticing is illegal. And if we could talk to our Lord and Savior, Gavin Newsom, he would tell us that just because a small number of trans people behave in a completely unhinged way,
a small number,
Remember, trans people make up less than 1% of the population, and yet all of the ones you see act like this.
Yeah. It's because they're all mentally deranged and unhinged.
And I will say, okay, so I will say the ones I will say the ones I've met, even the ones that were not outwardly unhinged, if you brought up certain subjects, it was very close to the surface. In my, even kind of in passing, not meaning offense, if you accidentally said something, like if you accidentally said he instead of she or something like that, a lot of these people would react very badly to it. Then it does seem like, I know we're not supposed to notice things, but this does seem like a recognizable pattern. Thoughts?
Well, the problem is, this is something not a lot of people talk about, but gender dysphoria is a mental disorder. When you are trans, you are mentally ill. But the key thing is, it's not so much a disorder, it is a symptom of other disorders. So gender dysphoria is a comorbidity with things like depression, BPD, bipolar, narcissism personality disorder. It comorbidates, whatever. It's comorbid with a lot of different disorders that guarantee that you cannot conceive of the world appropriately. And then when you're put on hormones that fuck up your brain, you lose the ability to hold together the little bit of reality you still had.
Yeah, it does seem like that would be exactly what you would want to do if you wanted to make it worse, right? Emerald, go ahead. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I was going to say, and then it leads to this, and this was it's a lot of the things that have happened recently. There you go.
Yeah.
This and a lot of these places have red flag laws. So how did they have a weapon?
No, that's a good point. And I was actually, I'll be honest with you, when I was like a naive leftist, I was actually very optimistic about how red flag laws were going to work. But then I think here's the thing. Is it that these people did not show red flags? Or is it that they had red flags, but they were the kind of red flags you're not allowed to notice? Like, in order to point out the red flags, you would have to engage in a pattern of illegal noticing.
But like, also, how many people have legal access to guns? We don't know how many there are legal guns.
No, that's true. That's true. So do you think, is this...
Well, no,
it seems really. Go ahead.
It's a misunderstanding. There's no such thing as an illegal gun. Guns can't be illegal.
Well, the thing is, the thing is, you can't even tell. I mean, a building could be burning down, and some people will still deny that the building is burning down, even though their head is on fire.
Yeah. So do you think this is a denial problem where people just like don't want to admit how bad it is?
Oh yeah, like you said, you're the bad guy if you call it out or you notice those red flags. Like you said, illegal noticing. If this guy is sitting over, if this trans person or whatever is sitting over here, making threats or writing threatening shit down, on a piece of paper or drawing threatening pictures that may seem a little out of pocket, like I'm gonna take notice of that and be like, hey, that guy's got something going on. We should probably look into that. But once again, if it's a trans person, if you call it out or even insinuate that something is wrong with this person mentally, you're the bad guy.
It's not. I think that's the wrong term of illegal noticing. It's not politically correct noticing.
Yeah.
If you
tomato to me.
It's like, okay,
but it's the whole point. It is if you notice it, noticing is noticing. It doesn't matter. There's no such thing as illegal noticing. It's the politically correct. That's not politically correct to notice a mentally disturbed individual that just happens to be trans to report it.
No, I don't think it's so much about it's not about whether or not people are afraid to notice it. It's that they're specifically told there's nothing to notice. And so when you tell them that for so long, a lot of people just kind of tune it out. A lot of people don't notice when there's a deranged trans person. They just see a deranged person because they were told the pattern doesn't exist so many times. It's like when you see somebody with a really ugly mole, you don't comment on the mole because you've been taught not to comment on the mole.
Yeah.
Similarly, when you see a deranged person who's trans, you're told not to comment on the trans part.
Well, we were
And
told
so-
they're just like this now. They're just like this, and this is normal now. And I think most people were like, all right, as long as I still get my Pringles and my Netflix, I don't
they think
care.
they're normal like we're normal.
Yeah. Like you're weird if you think
We're normal.
Yeah, if you think a man in a dress in the ladies' locker room is abnormal, then you're the problem. This is what we do now. This is what we do now.
Did you
You're
know
the
the high
problem.
school boys?
The what?
I forget what school it was, but there were a bunch of boys in a high school who there was a girl who walked into there, claimed to be a boy, recorded them. Not all of them were dressed. Recorded them, and they all said, "Hey, can you please leave? We're not comfortable with you being here."
Yeah.
All of the boys got sexual harassment charges.
Oh fuck!
Where did this happen?
It happened 2 weeks ago, I think it was.
Bro, we got to get that in there. We got to.
And this wasn't like on the news or anything like that.
Well, it was on some news.
Some news.
Yeah. And people. Yeah. Okay. And this is first of all, Diana's here. Happy to see you, Diana. This is a great question. The real question is, how do underemployed and unemployed people get their hands on 5K or more worth of guns and ammo and body armor? That was my question about the most recent one. Now, I did get nuked off Facebook for showing guns on stream, so we're not going to do that again. But
your first mistake was trying to stream to Facebook.
Yeah, well, I don't want to be on Facebook. Do you think I want to be on being on Facebook shatters any illusion that I am still young and cool? I know that.
The only reason
just-
I have Facebook is because I have a lot of people in my family that use
No,
Facebook.
that's right. Well, okay, because here's the thing. You fuckers in your generation, you guys like my content more, but you guys don't have any money. If I want to sell things, I have to be where the people with money are.
Well, but also, then again, Facebook
Make
is
more
really
money.
good. Facebook is really good for finding events because Zoomers actually do use Facebook to find events, and Zoomers adore Facebook Marketplace.
That's true. Yeah, I bought a lot of cool stuff off Facebook Marketplace. The video game market on Facebook Marketplace is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to just buy and sell game consoles. That's fun. That's a lot of fun. I enjoy that. That's enjoyable. But what was I talking about before Facebook? Oh, right. 5K worth of firearms. This is a good question. How did he get all those guns without anybody noticing?
His father is an FBI agent.
Yeah,
I heard that his father had like some kind of Fed connection. What's going on with that?
He was a Fed for like 20 years, I think is what it was.
But here's the thing: has it been proven what his official job was?
Janitor.
Because they say he was a contractor. That could mean anything from he scrubbed the shit out of toilets to he was Agent 47.
Yeah, was he stocking the vending machines, or what was he doing? We don't know. But it is. Look, this is one of those things where it's an odd coincidence. Surely.
Well, the thing is, there's a thing I like to say. I don't believe in coincidences. If it's a little too in your face, you can't ignore it.
Yeah.
So is it possible that there are connections to this case and the CIA? Probably.
Yeah. So mom and dad are guilty. That's what Diana's saying. Go ahead, Emerald. Sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's fine. I was going to say, but in the case of the dad, how much interaction did he actually have with his dad? That may
that's a good question.
So we do know
if he's had more interaction with his mother, and his mother was the one that was pushing, then I would say it would shift more to his mother. But if his dad essentially went for a pack of smokes and never returned, well, then it's a different type of guilty.
Well, okay, so the car was registered in dad's name. That doesn't mean that dad was primary parent.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Apparently, so what I heard most recently was homie was living with a romantic partner, and then they split up, and then he was living with a friend. And so he wasn't living with either parent. So, because I think a lot of people thought, if he's living with mom, how'd he get all them guns upstairs without her noticing? Right. But it sounds like he was living off site somewhere with a friend or something. And the problem with this story, I don't know the genders or sexualities of fucking any people in this story. It's just all like generic terms. Everybody's being super careful in the media to use generic language to avoid the gendering or the misgendering. Because the newspaper took a big swing. We have that. We'll talk about that later. Newspaper took a big swing and put the gender of the shooter in the headline and chose to use she, her pronouns. And they're talking about the shooter. I sent that to you, Emerald. I don't know if we have it. I didn't.
Yeah. You do. But bring this up because of misinformation. You get article tops like this.
Yeah.
Not being corrected. Revealed mom, Minnesota shooter, panicked dash to the airport before FBI raid of her condo. Now, the thing is she was flying to Minneapolis from her condo in Florida.
So this is deliberate bullshit to try to make her look bad, basically.
Yeah.
And look, and they got her in this, like, this hat and outfit says, I just murdered my husband and I'm leaving town. Doesn't it?
Yes,
they got her in some random middle-aged Catholic woman, and they got her looking as guilty as they could possibly make her look. I'm not saying she's not guilty. I'm saying this is media framing, and it looks bad. And a lot of people are interpreting the fact that she hired a defense attorney as evidence that maybe she did something, right? Although I will say, if you're going to prosecute shooters' parents, which has happened before, right? Then shooters' parents are going to hire defense attorneys, and then the investigation gets harder. That is going to happen. So
I know that bitch Carol Baskin killed her husband.
She does look like Carol Baskin.
She does.
This source that I'm looking at says that Robert's house or father's house was a mile away from the school.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that adds a little bit more.
Okay, so it seems like if mom worked at the school, dad lived right by the school. Homie used to go to the school. We're thinking maybe so what I've heard is that maybe he used to go to the school, maybe he didn't. I don't know if we know for sure.
That he did, and the school did not support his transitioning.
I see.
Well,
and
yeah,
the mother did.
It's a Catholic school. What did you expect?
Well, I will say
No.
there are a lot of leftists. There's a lot of leftists. It depends on where you are regionally and depends on the church. There's a lot of leftists in Catholicism. Now, I will say it's explicitly a Catholic doctrine is God made two of them. They was men and women, and he don't make mistakes. That's the explicit doctrine from the church. But individual school teachers, whatever, may make a different choice. That does happen sometimes. So it could happen, but I understand the official doctrine of the church. If they want to be in compliance with that, it would not. Right. You're saying not be supportive. Now, that being said, I know that mom was supportive. So that makes me think if mom was supportive, we don't know where dad was. We know mom was supportive because mom supported the name change. Mom supported whatever. Okay. So if mom is supporting the thing, that tells me mom probably had smoke with the school then over this. If school's saying no and mom's saying yes, there's going to be friction there. I don't know what the situation is with that. So I look forward to finding that out in the next couple of days.
Well, I also want to bring up, we keep bringing up mom. It goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Where's the father in all this?
My kid's Catholic school has a furry problem. That's a wild statement.
That's
a wild statement, but it is. This is what I'm saying. It's like because. Okay, so the order of Catholic priests that make all the schools. This is a little inside baseball. I don't want to get too into it because this is an in-house fight that I'd prefer to handle in family, and my audience is mostly non-Catholic. But just very basically, the religious order that handles all the schools is the most social justice focused one. And in recent years, you can kind of see them getting ideologically captured by leftists. So this is where you'll hear concepts like Catholic feminism, or you can be a co-creator of your destiny alongside God, or all this other stuff.
Feminism? Why that's like two terms that never need to be used together.
I agree with you, but that is I don't want to. That is a real group of people. I personally don't vibe with it. That's not Catholic in any sense I would recognize, but there are people who are trying to square that circle, and so there is a lot of like left-wing thought within the church and if you ask them if they had their way, the Catholic Church would go the way of the Church of England, where they'd be, ordaining women and making allowances for LGBTQ people and, marrying gay people within the church. There's a lot of people who attend Catholic Church who are nominally Catholic who privately do support those things and disagree with the church. So I wouldn't say just because automatically they're saying they're Catholic or a Catholic institution, they're necessarily going to be, hostile to this. in the same way that, maybe like the Baptists would be, although I don't know. There's the Protestants are very split on this too. I've noticed there's a left-right split I know the Lutheran Church has a left-right split. I'm sure the Baptists do. I know
the Baptists have kind of gone all in left on, if you look at so many of the Baptist churches.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jeez. That's tough. I mean, I've noticed as the more traditional Catholic churches tend to be more based, and the more loosey-goosey hold hands during the Our Father kind of churches with the guitars at Mass, those ones tend to be more, hippy dippy, and the boomers tend to be more leftist, and the Gen Z, Gen Alpha tend to be more based. That's what I've noticed.
What about the ones that are like full on rock concerts? That's kind of what mine is.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that depends on the guy in charge. Yeah. I think that depends on the guy in charge. So if the guy in charge is based, it's going to be a based church. If the guy in charge is, well, let's all love everybody, and I do TikTok videos, and what I mean? Like if you have a minister doing TikTok videos, it's bad time. Go ahead, Arza, you want to jump in?
One of the weird things that I recently learned, the shooter for like a period of like a year went to a Catholic school in the city I live in.
Oh, really?
When he was like 4, which is like
crazy. Crazy.
There's something you want to tell us, Arza?
I didn't live here back then.
How are you involved in this?
We've been found out.
I was gonna say,
sounds like Spain needs to get the Inquisitional band back together. Yeah, I agree. Spain, yeah, Spain, yeah.
So Arza was the supplier.
Yeah, no, and Santa McQuirk's bringing up the Episcopal Church. Yeah, dude. Holy crap! Some of these churches are straight up like, some of them are like turbo based, and some of them are like female pastor, pride flags hanging up in the church. Full on accepting.
Cringe as shit, man.
It's not good. It's not good. It's not good.
What I brought up last night. The whole point with Christianity specifically is that you don't hate the sinner, but you hate the sin. And all the pride flags and we're open and accepting and all this stuff. Well, that's actually praising the sin. That's celebrating the sin and encouraging the sin.
Yeah, which we don't want to do, right? And I'm not saying but we one thing I like about it is my sins are the same as your sins in the eyes of God. So so I'm not better than you just because I go to church and you get pegged. Like I'm not better than you because
pegging is not a sin because a woman is the pegger.
Put that on a t-shirt. Pegging is not a sin.
Pegging is not a sin as long as it's a woman.
Well, guys don't peg. It's something else.
So if ours is getting pegged, it's not a sin. When ours is doing the pegging, it is.
No, guys don't peg. Gay guys don't peg. That's not a thing. That's not what it is.
As long as it's your wife. I think that's what Thomas Aquinas said. That's right. That was his. I think that's in Summa Theologica. That's in there. Yeah, that's the official ruling.
Oh my god!
Oh fuck, that was great. But I'm not better than you just because I go to church and you go to pride
you
parades.
Don't
you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But really though, just if you want to, if you have a big Adam's apple and you're 6'6", you got hairy ass legs, but you want to wear a dress and strut down the street in high heels during a pride parade, that's your business. That doesn't make me better than you, but I don't think you should probably do that. You probably shouldn't do that. It's probably bad for you to do that. Yeah. Not the parade part, but all the other stuff that goes along with it. That's the thing. It's not I don't know if it's the gay part. It's all the stuff that goes along with that. And somehow they start doing stuff and then they get to the kids. Let me ask you something. How much of this is TikTok and how much of this is corn addiction? How much of this is straight up this guy who's the shooter? How do you think this started? Do you think he was born? Because you look at pictures of him a few years before it happened, he looked like a normal kid.
I guarantee it's a mix of all of it with just mental illness thrown in there, dude. I mean, because I don't think corn and a lot of exposure to TikTok is necessarily just going to make you snap and make you go shoot up a school full of kids.
Right.
But
yeah,
but because here's the thing, whether you're trans, whether you're a normal person or what, normal people don't think about going into a school full of kids and killing kids. They don't. Mentally deranged individuals think about doing that. So I don't know.
I mean, so we do know that transgenderism and a lot of these other problems are social contagions. That is an objective fact. You can fight me on it. Troons and this other stuff is all social contagion. As one person has it and expresses it, other people will pick up on it and might adopt it.
Then why haven't we been converted?
Because we have other things like common sense, and Theo's got religion. Otherwise, he'd probably be really gay too.
Yeah.
We have internal bulwarks to protect ourselves from, like having a loving father is usually all it takes to protect yourself from social contagion.
Yeah.
Huge win.
We also know that it is tied to mental illness and mental disorders, and it causes severe mental problems to be on hormones, to identify against reality causes a lot of psychological problems. And also, we know that the mom was egregiously supportive, which points towards Munchausen by proxy. It is very likely this is a Gypsy Rose situation where this was pushed onto Robert and he was forced into becoming a troon through maternal pressure.
And do you think maybe that's why Dad's not in the picture? Like maybe he didn't.
We don't know
that?
Dad's not in the picture. We don't have any confirmation of that. The dad might be in the picture. We don't know. But I mean, the reason Munchausen by proxy, though, is usually caused by some other kind of mental disorder in a mother, usually narcissistic personality disorder. And it's almost always in the mother, where she will project a mental disorder onto a child or someone else vulnerable because it gives her social benefit when that person gets treated. So she has a trans child who now needs gender affirming care. She gets the attention of having a trans child who's getting gender affirming care. So the attention feeds her, and then she pushes it back onto the child to get more
Munchausen by proxy.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think a lot of people are thinking more or less what ours is thinking. A lot of people are like, yo, what's mom's deal? Because mom worked at the school, mom gets name checked in the manifesto. Way more so than dad, gets way more specific attention than dad. So a lot of people are kind of thinking something must be going on here. Also, a lot of people have been engaging in some of this inconvenient, politically incorrect noticing, right? And we've noticed that there's a pattern a lot of times with some of these young people who are trans and mom thinking it's a good idea or mom going along with it. So a lot of people, and also we know that mom and dad are divorced. So now that's the thing. A lot of people have crazy moms who don't shoot up schools. A lot of people have divorced parents and don't shoot up schools, though. A lot of people are troons who don't shoot up schools. A lot of people I'm sure there are troons that are just like regular, pleasant people that you see at 7-Eleven and they don't bother anybody. That probably exists, right? Yeah. That's not what the internet highlights. But what's a piece of, so some people are saying this dude was like into like satanic internet cults and stuff. And people that I know who are rational and reasonable are saying that out loud and meaning it. And they're being serious. So it's like, okay. And I do wonder, some people are saying that that's the connection, that there's a bunch of satanic cults online. That's what all these true shooters are mixed up in. Some people are saying some kind of MK Ultra, CIA thing where they're like activating sleeper agents or something to cause chaos deliberately. I don't know if it's like planned out like that. I don't know if it's like a Dr. Evil scheme or whatever. I don't know if that's possible,
if it came out that was the case, would you be shocked?
Only a little
Not
bit.
Really.
But I do want to point out, so Shield Wall asked what kind of prawn do they have to be into to get that whacked out? Yeah. It's not the prawn addiction that causes it. What's actually the issue is they get so addicted to it, they are constantly chasing anher high. So like a lot of troons are prawn addicts because
mass murder.
The idea
it's
of
the next
troon. Well, no, because they're chasing the next highest orgasm, and so they're eventually going to go into troony porn because that is the most extreme level of crawl you can get, and then you're gonna get into like blood play, and you're gonna get into like knife play.
Look on Nate's face right now.
No.
Nate, you might want to cover your ears for this.
You know what? I'm gonna make a bit of a confession. As someone who used to be an addict of that kind of content, it never once crossed my mind to ever veer into that.
Well, let me ask you. Let me ask something, Nate. For you personally, because you're a little bit older than this guy, but you're kind of similar age demo. Let me ask you this: you had positive men in your life, right? Yes. As you were coming up?
Yes.
Yeah. I wonder how much of this is a no positive men problem versus
it could very well be, because, like Arza pointed out, a good father figure in your life is a very big part for a lot of kids who are growing up. They need a good role model to show them the way. And if they don't have that, they fly off the handle and act fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
now, okay, but like, here's the thing. This is what I'm trying to say. What is pushing people over the line? Because a lot of people are kind of crazy and unhinged right now, but not everybody's acquiring that many guns and doing something about it. Like that was like this is a point Shieldwall made earlier. That's a lot of guns. That guy had a lot of guns, and not like 5K worth of firearms. Probably a good.
No, he had like a whole arsenal.
Estimate. So, like that, it takes. How is he? I don't know where he's working. He has all this disposable income to just spend on guns. I don't know where that's coming from.
I think this buy that many firearms and that much ammunition in one go.
Yeah, so this must have
been building it up for a while.
So he's been doing this slowly over time, and nobody knew about it.
Given to him.
That's what people are saying. Like some people are saying, like maybe this was some kind of government op thing, and they just gave him a bunch of firearms and said, "Go nuts."
Yeah, well, good point. Government. I mean, we're talking about satanic cults.
Yeah,
it's hard to say because, it kind of feels like the same agenda that a lot of people have been running with for a very long time. Create mass chaos involving guns, and what comes up usually after a mass shooting or some kind of violent atrocity involving guns? Gun control.
Sure,
it's the same song and dance that we repeat every other few months. And it's just going to continue and continue and continue until, I don't know, either something bad happens or they just get tired of trying to beat people over the head with this agenda because people aren't buying into it.
But again, the place that you're saying that these usually happen are in air quotes gun safe spaces. No gun space.
Right. Yeah.
But another thing.
Then in addition to that, you'll notice that most of them there's no such thing really as a big red city. They're always in big blue cities.
Mm-hmm.
And overwhelmingly they're in blue states in general, not always, but more often than not. So it's kind of where all of these rules that they've already put in place on firearms doesn't seem to really do anything about it. And they continue to go, well, we need more and more, and then we turn into the situation that England's facing, where we talked about it last night, of the 14-year-old girl that got arrested for brandishing sharp, pointy items to protect her and her little sister from what's going on in England. So, I mean, it's the liberal wanting to get rid of everyone having guns, but that's the way to enslave a population is you take away the citizens' right to defend the government.
So I think you're right, but I think there's two demographics that are concerned with gun control. There's the leftists that are dangerously naive about human nature, and they think if you take away all the guns, everyone will just be nice. Because they think if you're nice to them, they'll be nice to you. And that's really what they believe about the world. They think people can just be nice and live together and everything's good. And there's no...
Have these people not heard of stoning?
Okay, but here's the thing. Let me tell you something. They've lived in exclusively white, affluent areas their entire lives. And then they went to college. And then they went to grad school. And then they went to some other safe white location where they've all been around safe whiteness their whole life. And that's all they know. And all the people they've ever met from other cultures were indoctrinated in that same leftist urban monoculture. And so they all there's no difference between people. We are all interchangeable cogs in the machine. And that's how they think about the world. Right? This is real. I've met these people. This is real. Arza, you've gone to school with them at your college. You've seen these people and they're just like, why don't we just give away all the guns and be nice? And
I never.
I don't
went
know
to
why I'm using my
college,
slut voice for that,
Yeah,
but
no,
that's slut politics, you know?
Well, no, because all these people, they do live incredibly sheltered lives, and then they're given a green light and a fuck ton of loans to just go and get educated, but there are no checks and balances to ensure the quality of education is good. So you have people who legitimately believe if we just kill all the conservatives, all of the world's problems will disappear.
Yeah. So
and they're also all true to say that.
Well, here's the thing. There's also this other factor too. So that's your average run-of-the-mill, like I said, slut politics. Your average run-of-the-mill bimbo that you would bum a vape off of at a nightclub. That's what she thinks. I know you guys aren't doing that anymore. That's what I used to do. You guys probably aren't like borrowing vapes from bitches at nightclubs anymore. That's what I used to do. I don't know what you guys are doing. We'll get to Arza's story in a minute. We have a story later. Arza slanging puss. So we gotta touch base on that. But I want to finish this monologue first. There's also the people who are just power hungry, your Clintons, your Clinton family, Hillary and Bill, those type of people who are just lizard people, your Gavin Newsom's, lizard people who just want power. The Minneapolis mayor, whatever his name is,
Waltz.
Lizard people who just want power. And they use those, your sluts on the street level with their, why can't we just not have war? Like those girls, right? Like war is a flag football game that you schedule and there just won't be one if you don't schedule it, right? Like those they use them as useful idiots because if enough useful idiots shriek about hand in your guns, then the lizard people who control us can be like, well, I have a democratic mandate. I have to take away all the guns. And then they whoop, and now it's easier for them to control people. But they know why they're doing what they're doing. They don't actually believe in what they're doing. We do have some true believers in government. Like I think AOC is a true believer. I actually don't think she's a lizard person. I don't think anyone with an ass that juicy could be a lizard person. Shout out to AOC. We love you. Come on the show.
You should get, I was getting ready to say, you should get her on, Theo.
I do. I want her on Touch Grass. I'm not trying to make you nervous, sweetheart. Ayo.
Opening the show with that line would be insane.
You know what's crazy? I keep being like, that was a tough edit, and it sounds better in context. I don't know that it does. I'll be honest with you. I don't know that.
I don't even know what the context was.
I know exactly the context. I remember when I said it, and I remember when I was telling the story of when I said it. And I'm thinking back on it. I don't think there's any way you frame that doesn't make me sound like a massive douchebag.
And I feel like you trying to explain the context just makes it sound worse.
Yeah, because if I explain the context, I'm going to have to say, so I was talking to a stripper, and then everything after that is going to be suspect. Everything after that is going to be suspect. So, God damn. Anyway, the point is, what was I going to say? There are true believers in government, is what I'm saying. There definitely are. But I do think there's some people like your Gavin Newsom's, what's his name in Minneapolis. So these are lizard people who are deliberately, your Jen Psaki's, who are deliberately using emotional manipulation to try to leverage it and gain power. These are people who have to practice their facial expressions in the mirror because they don't emote the same way other people do. Right.
Yeah.
And so they have to practice blending in so that they get through life by manipulating people. And that has gotten them into power because that's what our system selects for. And they're using this. They know they can't say gun control today. It's too early because they did that before. They did that under Obama and backlash. Not good.
No, they did. They already did push for gun control.
Already? Who said gun control already?
I know Jen Psaki did. The old spokesperson for Biden, because she was going and saying prayer doesn't do anything, so we need gun control.
Well, okay. Did she say gun control, or did she just say prayer doesn't do anything? Because she's kind of, I know they were kind of looping the dildo. I don't know if they went in. Hey, Cinema Courts, mind your business. Mind your business.
I feel bad for these people.
This is who watches Theo's comedy.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jen Psaki ever actually said get gun control, but because I heard it from Trump's press secretary.
But she's definitely she's implying gun control by saying thoughts and prayers aren't good enough, because that calls back to, I remember when millennials would post memes like that. back during the Obama administration when we'd have a shooting. We'd be like, fuck your, he'd say thoughts and prayers. That used to be what the leadership said, is thoughts and prayers. They'd be like, fuck your thoughts and prayers. We should do, we should have with gun control, right? But so I think when they say fuck your thoughts and prayers, they're implying gun control without saying gun control. Because if they said the words gun control today, it would be considered in bad taste and politicizing a tragedy. So they have to. Then the way they're getting around this is so clever. I admire the cleverness of our lizard overlords. I do, because this is so smart what they're doing. Because they'll say we can't politicize this tragedy. The Republicans are politicizing the tragedy by attacking our trans community. We must remember not to victimize our trans community by politicizing this tragedy. Meanwhile, they're politicizing the tragedy too. Everyone's politicizing the tragedy, but they're performatively, because remember with the left, everything they accuse you of doing is what they are doing, right? So but them pointing out that people are politicizing the tragedy, they're getting ready. They're, like I said, they're lubing up the dildo of gun control, and they're just waiting for a time to whip it out.
It's just a manipulative tactic. It's just weaselly, snake-like, reptilian-like.
Yes, it's like having a crazy ex-girlfriend. It's like argue. It really is. Like, have you ever made feminists mad on the internet? Because I do all the time. And when you do it, it's like arguing with 1,000 crazy girlfriends at the same time. Arza, you've argued with the Trudes. That's even worse. And they
Because they all lack the ability to argue, and then they all work on emotion. So they think they're right because they feel like they're right, and they know that other people feel like they're right.
Because I feel things.
They do not base any opinion in reality.
Yeah, dude.
So I found the Jen Psaki.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and pull that up.
While he pulls it up, did you hear what Biden's FBI was doing to help push the gun control narrative?
No.
They erased all instances of good guys with guns ending crimes.
So
in the last couple of years, about 400 shootings, pretty consistently, like 400 shootings are stopped every year by a good guy with a gun. And then the FBI intentionally hid all of those numbers and reported 0 for the year 2022 and 2023.
Oh, wow.
Oh, here we go.
We as a country are left to contend with the same damning fact that has lingered over us for decades. That of the most developed and richest nations in the world, the United States has by far the highest rate of gun violence. And that is in no small part due to a point Mayor Fry just made. We have by far the most guns per capita than any other country. Just over 120 guns for every 100 people. More guns than people. And we once again grapple with this national crisis. We can't ignore what is also happening in the background. Donald Trump has deployed thousands of federal troops to the nation's capital to combat what he has declared a crime.
Because you idiots can't stop acting out.
Okay, hold on. Let's break this apart frame by frame. Everyone, what are we looking at here?
Sorry.
Okay, so this is what she's going to of U.S. leads the world in guns per capita. Okay. So we have more guns. We have the First Amendment, but it says highest homicide rate compared to it. Yes, and if you took out Chicago, D.C., New York, all these cities with huge blue mayors and these anti-gun policies and not actually enforcing law, that's what's driving that rate up. Well, blue controlled.
Well, no, it's not just blue control, it's gang related. You get rid of all gang related activity and suddenly we're no longer in the top.
Well, yeah, we also the other thing too is we're there's always going to be a lot of tension here, and there has been the whole time the country's existed, because we have a lot of different kinds of people who think differently about the world living next to each other. And that's something that we have that these other places do not. That's not true of Chile, sort of true of Israel, although that is an ethno-state. Way less true of Canada than it is of here. Way less true of like other countries on that list. Ireland, Slovakia. And I guarantee you in the Norway and the Netherlands and places like that, they have very low homicide rates, very high rates of happiness. But that's because everybody there comes from the same cultural tradition and they all kind of think the same way about the world. Here we have a lot of different kinds of people who think differently, and we're trying to split the difference. And that comes along with tension. That's just how it is, you know? The ugly dude admitted he regretted transitioning. Mom gets defense attorney because she made him stick to the transition. That is what a lot of people think is going on, Cliff. That is what a lot of people think is going on. So I'm curious about that. What do you make of this report coming out that he allegedly is saying, I regret my transition. I wish I had never brainwashed myself, all this stuff. What do you think is that? Do you think that's, you know, being snipped out of context for sensationalism, or do you think that's actually reality? Maybe there was some regret here.
I don't know how applicable it is and how accurate it is, but a common thing with people who are victims of Munchausen by proxy is when they realize they're a victim, they generally lash out pretty violently. And they do something very severe to get back at the person who punished them. Just look at Gypsy Rose, who got her boyfriend to murder her mom.
Hold on. Wait, say that again. Back that up. Say that one more time.
When people realize they are a victim of Munchausen by proxy, they usually respond aggressively and violently.
Okay.
So this guy is realizing his mom forced him to be trans, pushed this on him, and now he's responding the only way he can with violence.
That's okay. So that's what I was thinking.
It still doesn't make it right.
No. That's not what I'm saying at all. We're just trying to get into motive here. Yeah, because one of the things people were saying was this is an anti-Catholic hate crime, and I'm like, I don't know if it is, and here's why I say that. This is a school that shooter attended. This is a school. Dad lived a mile away. Mom worked there until recently. Seems like a lot of personal connections. Now we're hearing maybe he went there. School wasn't supportive of transition. Maybe that had to do with why he left. We don't know. But the point is, a lot of personal connections to this school. I'm not ready to just say, oh, this is specifically anti-Catholic or anti-Christian. It may be like ours is saying, hey, I want to really lash out at the person I perceive to have hurt me the most. What is the most vile thing I could do that could be vengeance against this person that I perceive to have hurt me? That could also be it. So I'm not ready to just say, oh, it's a Catholic hate crime. When
go in and make an embarrassment of himself that's going to, and then off himself so that it goes to the parents.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Do an act so heinous and then, of course, end his own so that all is left is and then everyone's looking at the parents. So maybe it isn't off the realm of possibility that maybe the parents do need to be looked into.
No, you're right. Yeah,
maybe.
Because
maybe I'm just saying maybe this is
like you said, because everybody's going to be looking at the parents for answers, and it just paints a giant target on their back. So,
yeah. Well, here's the thing. Let me ask you something. Is it more important to know why this happened, or is it more important to punish the people responsible?
To know why it happened. 100%.
To know why it happened.
It's both. No, I'm for both columns. We need to know why it happened.
No. Yeah. And let me ask you this. This is why. Let me tell you why I'm asking. Okay, so one of the things that's getting in the way of our ability to figure out what happened is what's her face. The mom has hired a criminal defense attorney. So now everything that happens is going to get slowed way down because what I'm guessing the conversation goes like this: is criminal defense attorney is going to go to the cops and the prosecutor, whoever he has to interface with, and he's going to be like, all right. So we'll cooperate with the investigation as long as you promise not to prosecute. And they're like, and then the cops and the prosecutors are going to be like, well, we don't know what we're going to find. So if we find something, we can't promise not to prosecute if we don't know what we're going to find. And he's like, all right, well, then we're not going to cooperate. If you're not going to promise not to prosecute, we're not going to cooperate. And so it's like, oh, fuck, now we need to get warrants, and now it's going to be a, pain in the ass. And you don't have an obligation to turn over incriminating evidence. You don't have an obligation to. Now, if they search and they find it, that's fine, but they can't be like, give me.
And I don't see a problem with her refusing to cooperate. I mean, if they're trying to search her condo in Florida and it happened in Minneapolis, I mean, okay, that already is the cooperating and all this stuff is even during that is even if they even say if you have nothing to hide and stuff. Well, no, if you're being investigated, you should get a lawyer and you should be already doing that. It doesn't matter even if you know you're innocent. It is a protection against to fight against the state. So, I mean, I don't really automatically clue into, oh, she's hiding something. It could just be that she's seen too many times now of parents gone after something like this happens, and they try to paint them and everything else. So maybe it is self-protection, and maybe this is being blown out of proportion that she hired a lawyer. That's a possibility.
Yeah, but I know how this is going to play out in the court of public opinion. People who are, a lot of people are already saying, "Oh, she must be guilty of something. We gotta nail this woman to a wall." And the other thing too is that because journalists are cockroach people, they're all in a race to be the fastest cockroach, and so they are going to turn over every single detail of this woman's life, even if it's completely irrelevant. Like yesterday, we thought she made a mad dash to the airport to escape, and there's still millions of people who think that. Now it's been community noted on X, so we know that wasn't true. She was coming back to Minneapolis from somewhere else, right? Right. So we know that's not true. But now, because the cockroach people have gotten into it, they're already, in an effort to be first, are reporting misinformation. And here's the thing. I kind of agree with what I kind of think, just outside looking in. I think it's going to be really unlikely. There's probably some way in which mom is at least partially responsible. I have a hard time believing that she bears no fault in this whatsoever. That's hard for me to believe, just looking at the facts on the ground here. And I don't know what dad being a Fed, I don't know what relationship that has to everything, but I'd like to find out. There's got to be, like Diana's saying, both. I think everybody is, I think obviously if somebody's responsible, somebody should get punished, but it is, I guess, if you're going to go in there with the idea of punishing the person responsible, let's say mom is responsible, going in with punishing her, then she's going to resist the efforts to investigate. And so it'll certainly make it take a longer time, and you may get worse results. But what do you think?
The real reason we need to triple down on figuring out the why and not whether or not she's guilty is because if we don't know why, then this can happen again and probably will happen again. And you and I and everyone else in common sense knows what is wrong with transgenderism. The fact that it's a mental disorder, the fact that we should not be affirming it. We know that. The actual institutions they know it too, but they are refusing to admit it. The APA has removed the gender dysphoria from a psychiatric disorder. It is no longer a psychiatric disorder. The only reason the DSM-5 still has gender dysphoria is so it can be treated with affirming care. So the institutions are lying to us, and if we can find out the actual reasons why, the actual causes, it will force the institutions to be honest for a change. Like the UK had to reverse almost all of their affirming care policies because they did an independent study and found out that the APA was lying. That hormone blockers do cause permanent harm, that HRT causes psychological damage. They found that through their own personal studies, realized the APA is lying, and despite being one of the most liberal governments out there, removed the recommended care for minors to transition them.
It's happening all across Europe, and it's the US that seems to be overall still steaming ahead.
Why it's our institutions that are lying about it?
Yeah. Why? Do you think it's because the cost of admitting they were wrong at this point would be so high? Like, because
it's their voting base. They've convinced their voting base so much, for them to now turn and change on that would alienate them. And if they're out for power and control, to lose more of a power base of support like that, when that's essentially all they have left, they can't get away from it.
Yeah. Well, I think this alliance has already stopped being politically convenient for the Democrats. I think they already, because if you the sports issue, you could hear them starting to hedge in their answers. They keep saying, well, that's the decision of individual sporting bodies whether or not men can play women's sports. And it's like, okay, well, that's the same dodge that Republicans used to do for abortion when they didn't want to. It's like, well, we should let the states decide, which means I don't want to alienate anyone, but by taking a hard stance. But so I think they want to get away from this issue, but they boxed themselves into a corner because they said, this is the new civil rights issue of our time. And if you don't agree with us, you're a bigot. And they already jettisoned women, and they jettisoned Black Lives Matter, and they made this their new thing. So they're going after, I think they were trying to latch on to like the Palestine issue, and that didn't catch as much. I didn't think that caught on as much,
Yeah, Because those
And-
people will eat you alive.
No, let's be honest, there are two reasons why it's so advantageous for them to back the trans horse. The first one is this mentally destabilizes the patient. The patient is guaranteed to become mentally destabilized, which means they will always accept non-truths. So you can tell them 2 + 2 = 5, and they will believe you because their entire worldview is based on a lie. So they're easy to lie to, they're easy to reprogram, and they will vote for you purely based on the lies you tell them. So you are creating mentally unstable voter base. And also, it makes a fuck ton of money.
That's the other thing too.
Your hormones cost an average $30,000 a year for the rest of your life because you have to be on them. If you aren't on replacement hormones, then your body will crumble and you'll be completely miserable. You also lose the ability to produce your own hormones when you've been on hormone replacement long enough. So even if you don't have the surgery, you still have to be on hormones for life. Surgeries are expensive. And because you have a permanently mentally destabilized person, they will be a psychiatric patient for the rest of their life as well. They will always be in therapy. It's a lot of money to be made off of a trans person.
Yeah. And this is okay. As I brought this up, we don't talk about this enough. So under Obama, Obamacare passed, and it was required that health insurance companies cover gender affirming care. So now, if I'm a pharmaceutical company that makes the drugs you need for gender affirming care, now I have a product that people can be compelled to purchase. So I can increase the supply and make a lot of money as long as there's a corresponding demand. So now there's a financial incentive to increase demand. And the other thing too is the healthcare practitioners make a lot of money doing it. The hospitals make a lot of money doing it. And then you have surgeons on TikTok like making viral videos about performing these surgeries on young people and ostensibly like advertising their services.
Have you seen some of the pictures of these medical professionals doing these surgeries?
Dude, honestly, yeah.
Can you tell me some of these fuckers do not look like some of the shadiest people you've ever seen in your life?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Not necessarily people I would trust to get medical advice from.
They all look like the doctor from the Human Centipede, man. They just look creepy as shit.
The whole thing is very ghoulish and kind of like Frankenstein-y. And I'm sensitive to a degree to the mentally unbalanced people who are drawn in and victimized by this. I think these are people who don't have advantage of. Yeah, I don't think they have a lot of good social connections and stuff. That's what. Okay, so what trips me up about the manifesto, getting back to the shooter at one point, is this is a guy who talked about having. There were friends that he was referencing in the thing. So he had.
I think there was like a couple of YouTubers he referenced too.
Yes. Okay. So he did. Yeah. There was a firearms YouTuber. Shoot, I forget what that guy's name is. Brandon Herrera or something like that. Something to that effect.
He dropped a video like about 15 hours ago, basically condemning the whole thing.
Wait, the shooter referenced Brandon Herrera?
Is that the gun YouTuber? Is that the right name?
That's the guy who's running for Congress in Texas.
No, that's not right. Okay, who am I trying to say? The gun YouTuber, Brandon something or other.
That would be Herrera, because there's a gun YouTuber who's running for Congress in Texas.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's him. Yeah. So he referenced.
I know he had iDubbbz's old name before iDubbbz changed his YouTube name.
Brandon Herrera. Yep,
that's the one. Yeah. So he released a video condemning the whole thing, which we're not obviously, but. I don't know what I don't know how he's gonna. Obviously, he's like a firearms educator. So whoever this apparently the shooter used his channel for education about firearms, I suppose, which probably feels not awesome, but that wasn't intention with it, obviously. So, I mean, I don't know. A lot of people like his content. Roguish Nerd is a fan.
No, his content's fantastic. He's one of the best. He's the only gun YouTuber I've ever bothered to watch because he's actually really good about it.
Yeah. So, so these are. That's what I'm saying is like, did this guy have friends and family or not? Because to me, everything about the situation screams chronically online. That's what all of the symbols on the gun and everything that was written, everything in the manifesto. It just seems like this person just spent life on the
Well,
phone.
it's just the smugness of it at the end too. Like doesn't the end of it basically say "be better" or "be better people"?
Yeah, be good
or
people.
some shit like that.
Be good people.
It's like, dude, you killed kids. Like, go fuck
Let's also
yourself.
not forget, Theo. Most Zoomers, their friends are found by being perpetually online.
Okay, yeah. So talk about that more.
Well, so like the in-person connection for Zoomers is completely dead. You can't really make a lot of friends in schools. People are so guarded. You can't like just approach somebody and talk to them most of the time. And so where people are finding a lot of their friends is in niche Reddit pages, niche Discord servers, things like that. They're finding people there who are usually of equal or worse mental state, who then egg you on into having a worse mental state yourself, because these people are perpetually online. So that's where you're meeting all of these people.
I found all my friends on YouTube.
No, that's true. Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. So a lot of these people that they have, so these people that he's referencing as being friends may actually be online friends. So this is not necessarily, because that's the circle I was trying to square. Is like, okay, is this guy chronically online, or is he a person with a rich social network? And I think what you're saying is he could be both, and his social network could be a bunch of other people who were. It could be, who are into, trans stuff too. He may be on some kind of obscure corner of Reddit where a bunch of feds are trying to get him to transition.
Well,
which is,
if you look at the r/trans and LGBT and other surveys like that, it's very common for them to call for trans people to arm themselves. To get armed, to be ready to protect themselves.
Yeah,
that video at the beginning of the stream convinces me otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, no, the funny thing is the common response from a lot of these trans people is, "I'd buy a gun, but I'm afraid I'd use it on myself." That's actually like the number one comment I've seen on those threads. All these trans people saying that I
shouldn't have laughed at that. I'm sorry.
To own a gun.
Yeah.
But also that goes into the crime. That goes into the gun statistics that are always misrepresented too.
Yeah.
Because they use any death involving or a firearm, and so self-ending is counted in there. And in a country that has a prevalence of guns, it is that's a higher rate of use for life ending of self. So with that in mind, compared to other countries.
If you take the guns away, it's not going to stop people from offing themselves.
Knives and bathtubs with toasters. So
any jackass can climb to the top of a roof and jump off.
That too. Yep.
No. This is So I think it's weird how. What I would be interested to see how he was able to acquire all these firearms. Was he able to do so legally? And if so, there's no, because what the media's been reporting is he had no history of recorded mental health issues that would have precluded him from buying a firearm, which I have a hard time believing that because of just, look at him.
Like, what do you mean?
What are we talking about here? What do you mean? What do you mean? What about the pigtails? Are the pigtails not a mental health issue?
That's just a
flex. What are we doing here?
That's them once again just being pussies and not wanting to call it exactly what it is.
Yeah. I don't think the left has the same mental antibodies that the right has earned through a pretty good handful of high-profile incidents, Ari, Ruby Ridge, Waco, etc. We have a term for feds, glowing ones. Yeah. It's
Waco, Texas.
Roguish Nerd, friend of the channel. Yeah, it looks like I think that's the thing. I think people on the right are kind of used to the feds being a problem. I don't know if I've heard that Reddit is just a completely dead website and it's basically all feds in there at this point.
It's either it's either feds or incels just running the thing.
Yeah,
it's not incels, it's feminists. A lot of femcells too. It's like when we looked at the other week when we looked at the my boyfriend is AI. Remember, my girlfriend is AI had 15 users. My boyfriend is AI had a couple 100,000.
That's wild.
That is insane.
So Reddit is no
That's
longer
wild.
an incel or right wing place. It's
So-
femcells, feds, and feminists.
So all of these women would have picked the bear, is what you're saying.
Yes,
Well, it's the same. It's the same ones. Whole Math report did a one on of the what does a woman bring to the relationship? Well, they're the table.
Yeah. So okay. So walk me through this. So it's I can't imagine. I don't know if there's anyone attractive and well adjusted who uses Reddit at all. Right. That's not
Probably
like I imagine
not.
all the women on Reddit look like Arza if he shaved. Right. Do you agree on that? It's just that's what they're not good looking. That's what I'm saying. They're not. Arza, you look great as a man. You would not be a good-looking woman. I think we can all agree on that. I don't think I'm telling secrets out of school when I say that. That's who I imagine is on Reddit, right?
So what basically happened with Reddit is back during like 2014, like mid Gamergate, a bunch of feminists eked their way into most major Discord servers moderation teams. And then once they were in, they kicked out a lot of other mods, and then they banned anybody who said anything wrong. And then during the 2016 election, Reddit banned r/Donald Trump and most other conservative subreddits. So they banned all of the conservative spaces, and all of the apolitical spaces were taken over by feminists, who then banned you if you posted in any or any subreddit they didn't like. So like I've been banned from a subreddit because I have a comment in r/men's rights. I was banned from r/reactions.
What?
Just for having a post in a different subreddit. They have bots set up to detect when you post another subreddit, and you get banned the moment you post in their subreddit if you have a post in another one.
That's okay. So that got very, very restrictive. So everybody cool left Reddit because of these restrictions.
Yeah.
And so it's an increasingly isolated group of weirdos. And I know people are like, why are we talking about Reddit? I will bet you dollars to dog shit that shooter had a Reddit account. I'll bet you almost anything that guy was a Redditor. And if you go on his Reddit history, you will find out that will be a necessary thread to pull on to figure out what caused this. I guarantee you. I can't prove it. But just knowing what I know about the world, I'll bet you he does. Is they do that. They'll go on there. And if they'll go on there and they'll get in these communities and people will talk about like being trans. If you say, well, I'm thinking about it, they'll be like, you should do it, bro. It's awesome. And they'll try to convince you.
Basically, when Tumblr banned porn, they all went to Reddit. And then when Twitter became X, all of the liberals there also went to Reddit.
Oh man.
Oh, I thought they went to Blue Sky.
Okay.
So no, all the people on Blue Sky went back to Twitter.
Jeez. Okay. So so the stereotype of the Redditor being the right-wing neckbeard with the fedora is outdated. That was like millennial era Reddit. Reddit now is just inundated by fat leftists.
People still think we're in the age of the atheist Redditor. We're now in the femcel Redditor.
Oh god. That's tough.
That's even worse somehow.
And for those who don't know, femcel is female incel.
And so we got to do a separate show on femcells. It's
femcells and toxic femininity.
Yeah, but you also got to understand these are not the girls you want to fuck anyway. So you don't got to worry about these girls.
When you do that, Theo, you need to have the entire panel be female again.
No.
Yes.
Never. I'm never doing that again. That was one time. It did not go well. We're not doing that again.
No. You won't be alone. We'll make sure BS Warren is there too.
Oh, great. That fucking BS Warren, that fucking bedwetter. I'm so fucking mad at him.
I still can't believe you and I had that conversation, and then you didn't invite me. Tisk tisk.
I know it was a mistake. That whole panel was a mistake. Because R.I.P. But you live and you learn. You live and you learn. I'm continuing to grow. Show's gotten better. Shout out to the Touchgrass community. I have the best audience on the internet. This isn't a serious problem. The other thing too. So I wanted to show you something. This relates. It's not strictly speaking shooter related. Let me pull it up. Actually, because Emerald, I need to tell you what video I'm thinking of. Let me make sure I've sent it to you before I start introducing the video. Oh yeah, it's the one I sent to you most recently of the skate park. We don't have to show the whole thing, but yeah, that one. So let's go ahead and pull this up. So what happened was. Basically, so this is, I'll set it up a little bit by just kind of telling you guys what the deal is. Let me see. Was it better if we look like this or like this? That's probably fine.
Either or.
Okay, so what's happening here is this is a skate park, and you have a grown man looking like he could be millennial aged, at the very least later Gen Z, and then you have a trans person there, which is the man wearing the dress kind of deal. And apparently one of the Zoomer teenagers said something, or Zoomer, or I guess that's Gen Alpha, whatever. I don't know how old they were, Zoomer or Gen Alpha, whatever. Young teenagers said something like not nice about the man in the dress, and a crash out happened, and we're gonna see it. Go ahead.
Hey, Kai. I wasn't being an asshole. Hey, Kai. Don't worry
That's
about
the man
it,
in the
Kai.
dress.
Don't worry about it, Kai. These children are still young and stupid.
You're stupid.
Hey, knock it off. This is a public skate park, dude.
You don't call a kid
Hey,
stupid.
you can go home. You can go home. You want to go home?
You want to get out of my face?
No, I don't have to. If you want to get, hey, look, kid.
Uh-oh.
Hey, I'm not fucking around with
Now
any
he's
of
deciding
you.
a child.
Do you all
that's not good.
understand? Do you understand?
That's not good. Now he's doing that.
Shut the fuck up.
Uh-oh.
I would have laid his ass out right there if you put your hands on me. Like
Right, now this fat white woman is going to get involved. And she kind of like, she's kind of create a problem. Anyway, we don't have to go through this whole thing. Like, basically, that's what I'm saying. So that is actually the big problem. I don't think is the Troons. The big problem is that the world is full of fuckers like that guy that are low verbal intelligence. They don't really understand the issues. They're just like, hey, man, don't do that. It's not cool. And so they'll be the PC.
And when they get
principal about it.
and when they get their little fucking feelings hurt, they yell and scream and get in your face.
Yeah, and they go to violence, and part of that is because they have all this like pent up rage because they want to be more violent, and life doesn't afford them the opportunity, and they're looking for it. And part of it is they think that they're righteous, and it's like some kind of like justified cause, right?
Those kind of videos just make my blood boil. Like I'm
this
like
is
like
also-
I'm watching that, like I could feel my adrenaline just like running up my fucking spine. Dude.
But this goes into the leftist ideal that when it goes to like gun control of taking guns away and everyone will be nice, it's the same thing. They truly believe that human nature in general is peaceful. Human nature human nature is not peaceful.
No.
Well, let's
No,
be
that's
honest.
good.
What they think conservatives will do and how they think conservatives feel about others is how they feel about us.
Yes.
You know, when they say TERFs want to commit genocide, what they're saying is, I want to commit genocide against the TERFs, so they must think that way about us too.
Projection.
Yes. It's always
remember is that they don't have a theory of mind.
I just want to play D&D and interact with my friends on the internet.
Right. And
Leave
this
me
is
alone.
okay. This is what I'm saying. Where they actually really fucked up, and when we want to get into the history of this, where they actually fucked up was Gamergate.
Yeah.
That's where they fucked up, because if they had just, a lot of people like Sargon of Akkad was activated by Gamergate. That was a terrible decision. Was to make Sargon of Akkad politically active was a horrible decision. That was terrible. They may have lost just with that alone. And there's a bunch of people who were spending all their time playing video games online, talking about video games, shit posting, whatever. And they turned them all into radical right-wing philosophers.
Well, it's like not very few right-wing pundits, to the point that any of us are actually right-wing, want to be. We want to be sitting in our room playing video games, hanging out with our friends. We have no desire to be on the internet doing this.
Before COVID, I had a convertible. My whole life was about driving my convertible in the San Diego sunshine and banging chicks. That was all I wanted to do. I didn't want to do anything else. That was it. I just wanted to smoke weed, bang chicks, and drive my convertible on the beach. That's it. I didn't want to be political.
Going back to that video for a second, what I noticed, he's squaring up with kids. This is a grown man squaring up with kids. There's not another adult anywhere in that video, and he's actively putting his hands on children.
That boy's voice hadn't dropped yet. You could hear it.
Yeah.
That kid's probably 12, 13, 14. He's a little
probably
tall,
like 14
but he's
years
12,
old.
13, 14. And this guy chest bumps him into a bench, not just onto the ground, into a fucking bench, knocks him down. The guy was about to swing with a skateboard. You could see he was going to swing at the boy.
Over what? Somebody hurt your feelings.
And do we even know what the initial statement was? Why he was getting mad?
No, we're not clear because the filming starts after. But apparently he said something pejorative about the pervert in the dress, and then the pervert in the dress was like, "You're young and stupid," because again, all these people think they're the main character, and it was clear he wanted and then turn around, hair flip, and storm out.
Did dude have a man bun?
No, no, he had a ponytail. That's different. That's different. Let's see. I have the right wing coded Norse man bun. He had the left wing coded messy ponytail, and he is unemployed. It's not
a man bun; it's a tran bun.
He's unemployed. Chooses to hang out at the skate park with children like a miscreant. I'm unemployed. I hang out at the comedy club with drunk adults like a man. See, different.
Makes me so mad. Like, you come at me and you do that kind of shit to me, I'm gonna be all over you like white on rice, dude.
Well, okay, well, nobody. Here's the thing. Obviously, you shouldn't attack children, right?
No,
we're clear on that.
Really?
But like, this guy is mentally unbalanced himself. Probably super low emotional maturity, super low verbal intelligence. Doesn't know how to, and he's enforcing this because that's what his left-wing programming says to do. Like, that in order to be nice, you must placate the pervert in the dress, and anyone who refuses to placate the pervert in the dress must be dealt with accordingly. And he doesn't have a sophisticated language to deal with that, so he just goes
look at
physical.
this image here, and this is a little later in the video.
Yeah,
he's now being surrounded by adults.
Good.
These are the adults that showed up and started getting in his face.
Yeah, and white girl over there white woman over there in the corner, and the black, she gets on the phone and is, I assume, calling the police.
I would hope.
Is dude in the blue gonna slam his ass? Because I'd pay money to see that.
Dude in the blue doesn't do much. It's really like fat girl here and girl and the woman in black who's doing the heavy lifting.
But also, do you remember that video about the white woman who was going on TikTok complaining about how she heard these Gen Alpha talking about Andrew Tate, and she gets in those little boys' face and starts screaming at them about how evil Andrew Tate is, and then gets mad at her boyfriend for not doing that. Yeah. It's the exact same mentality that this femboy over here has.
Yeah, this is a very
he looks like Neil Druckmann. It just hit me.
A very let's say for the sake of argument, that what these young men said, these 13-year-old young men, because that's not exactly a child, a 13-year-old. That's a young man who, if he said something that needed correcting, then as an adult, it's reasonable perhaps to step in and offer some correction to a
but not like that.
Not in that way, right?
No,
not in that way.
Another child or someone else's child.
Not a body check into the picnic table.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's not I'm not,
especially when especially if it's not even your kid to begin with. Like I will say there was a time in recent history where it was pretty normal, where everybody could check everybody's kids, especially if it's a community. If it's a kid, that's a kid, you can check them a little bit and be like, hey, stop that nonsense. But that's stuff that everybody agrees on. Stealing, hitting, cussing, saying the N-word, stuff like that we know kids are not supposed to do. You'd be like, hey, knock that shit off, not cool. And that's they keep it pushing, right?
That was the moment when the kid became a conservative.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
you don't body check or hit a kid with a skateboard.
Right. Yeah, I can't think unless that kid was being violent, and that kid wasn't being violent at all. Like, there's no dude. I don't care what the kid said.
Unless he's got a knife. If he's getting like fisticuffs, an adult man should be able to restrain a 13-year-old boy.
Here's the thing.
Without getting hurt.
I guarantee that motherfucker's never won a fight in his life. Seriously.
Well, not a fair fight anyway.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter. Fight's a fight. I guarantee he's never won a fight in his life.
Yeah, well, his body language was very childish, and it wasn't. And nobody who knows how to fight would pick a fight with someone that much smaller than them.
Exactly.
And if they did know how to fight, they would use some kind of grappling. If it became necessary to physically restrain a 13-year-old, you'd use some kind of grappling technique to do it, and you just hold them and be like, "Hey, chill out, chill out, chill out, chill out." You wouldn't be like, if an actual adult in that situation would not be that emotionally activated, and if they were, you take a timeout and then you deal with the kid after you've regulated your emotions. That's the adult move, right? Because sometimes kids do piss you off because kids are little psychos. They don't have any empathy. My fucking niece said some shit to me the other day. I was saying I chose to leave the legal profession, and she was like, "I thought you were just bad at being a lawyer and couldn't make it." And I was like,
did she lie? Was she wrong?
I was like, no, well, okay, I was a passable lawyer. I just hated it. I was passable. I wasn't. I'm just way better at comedy.
He was Jim Carrey's character from Liar.
Oh, then you must have been a really bad lawyer if you're better at comedy.
Yeah, dude, it is a humorless profession. I don't think I understood the degree to which the profession was humorless when I entered it, and it was suffocating for me. It was just like not
live
a
his
good
liar
time.
liar dream.
Yeah, but
that was
so
Theo in the courtroom.
My point with that is that for real though, like. Yeah, I was really good, but like at the talking to people part, but I was very, very unorthodox, and they didn't like it, so it was holding my career back.
They don't like the things you said on Twitter.
Yeah, basically, and that was going to be a problem no matter what. I was working at the law office one time, and I was doing client intakes. And somebody came in and they were like, "Hey, aren't you Theo Snodgrass, the comedian?" And I was like, okay, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to be both, isn't it? I was like, fuck. Okay, so I had to kind of, fortunately, right after that, I got fired, so it wasn't an issue.
Well, it's better than them walking in and go, "Hey, aren't you Theo Snodgrass, the used car salesman?"
Yeah, seriously.
Aren't you Timu Jesus?
Yeah, dude.
So
but anyway, my point in bringing that up is this: sometimes kids do piss you off, but you don't fucking hit them as an adult. But the point is, the reason the Troons can do what they do is not just because they're hysterical. It's because there's a bunch of hysterical adults who will enforce their will. And
but if guys like us are fed up with it and we fight back, we're the bad guys.
Yeah, that we're oppressive or whatever. And also, like, none of us would be that emotionally dysregulated in that situation. Like,
well, because we are men. We know if we get into a fight, somebody is getting hurt. We know the consequence of fight. These men who have never been in a fist fight do not understand how much harm he can do to somebody. So he might not even know that he actually could hurt that boy. He might think the boy can take it because in his mind, everyone's weak like he is. But he doesn't understand that he's a man.
That kid could have gone over and hit the concrete. He could have hit his head on the bench.
Yeah, a lot of hard surfaces.
Yeah, anything could have fucking happened. But these people don't think rationally enough to think about that kind of stuff.
I was watching a video from my favorite gender critical content creator, King Critical, and he mentioned that there seems to be a weird thing where trans people don't seem to understand that throwing things at people is assault and can cause harm. Because trans people are constantly, they're throwing water, they're throwing bottles, they're throwing
they don't seem to think that shoving people over is assault either.
Yeah. What's going on with that, do you think? Is it that it's removed by distance? Or like what's going on with them mentally that they're making that distinction?
I didn't touch him. I just hit him with a lamp.
Infantilization. So what they're doing is if they were kids, it would be just playground antics and roughhousing.
Yeah.
So they're doing things that, I'd get talking to, but I'm not going to hurt him by doing this if we were the same age and we were both children. But they don't seem to understand that just because society infantilizes them, they don't understand they're adults with adult bodies and adult capabilities. Yeah. And so they're looking at these things that are juvenile and harmless when you're a kid. We're mostly harmless. That would be classified as roughhousing. But now that they're adults, they don't realize it's a completely different context with incredibly different muscle structures and strength levels.
Yeah. Okay. But part of this too is the reason trans people can be so ridiculous is because if you and I say something okay, let's say us four, we're out at Quiznos and we're getting the sub sandwiches and we're just in line, and then some guy comes in behind us at Quiznos and he's in a dress and he's got an Adam's apple. If we go, hey, what gives with that guy? There's a really good chance somebody's going to get hysterical around us. And we all know that. The reason we don't say anything is because somebody could be like, or it could be like this guy, which is the male version of that, which is, don't leave her alone. Leave him alone. That's a woman.
Is man.
You know what I mean? And this is, this is what so I've told the story before about, I was in a comedy space kind of riffing and I said, I was dealing with a trans person and I said she or he when the preferred one was she, just kind of accidentally. I talk fast and I was bouncing back and forth between people trying to like make humor. It wasn't like a conscious choice. It was just, it was a mistake and then whatever. And so it became a big kind of fiasco. And what that person is threatening me with, in addition to social ostracization, is if I dig my heels in here, then there's a good chance that they can make a fuss and then kind of initiate a witch burning ritual, right? Which is a human thing that's in all of us. It's like, hey, if you don't submit to my will right now, I'm going to whip this. I'm going to start making a fuss.
Yeah. The lynching mob essentially.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, exactly. And I'm going to turn all these people against you and then you're going to have a problem. And I've had people do that to me before. I've told a story before. This crazy feminist following me around to different shows at one point, who was just hated my guts for some reason. I still to this day don't know her name, don't know who she is, don't know anything about her. But
wait, she's still following you?
No, not anymore. No, because I moved cities. I moved cities, so it wasn't an issue. And
I was gonna say you might want to call the police on that.
No, I will get a new stalker before too long. It'll happen. I
heard she moved down to Las Vegas.
Oh fuck. Well, the thing is, I do attract stalkers, particularly of the feminist variety. So it does happen. It will happen again, but it's not happening right now, thank God. So, anyways, this woman was just. No, she would come to
no particular reason.
I'm innocent. So she would come to show and she would just like everybody, that guy is a narcissist who hates women. And she's trying to whip up the whole room, against me. And it was weird. It was creepy dealing with it. Cause at first I thought, oh, she just doesn't know me very well. Once she gets to know me, it'll all be fine. Cause I'm
not trying to make you nervous, sweetheart.
Right.
It's like, no, I just don't want to have sex with you specifically.
Yeah, it's just like I just don't want to bang you, but that doesn't mean we can't.
Yeah,
be like we could just be court. Like we don't even have to interact. Like I won't ever talk to you if you just stop telling people that I'm like an evil sex pest. Then she called me a mental rapist, and
what?
Well, she was like, because she was like, you clearly can't accept the word no from a woman. I would hate to see what would happen if you were ever alone with a woman. And I was like, wait, hold on. Are you calling me a rapist? And she was like, I think you're a mental rapist.
So, in other words, that's how she asked you out.
Yeah, dude.
On this episode of How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah. Bro. And so, but that's the thing. And so I got one time when it got particularly bad. And this incident resulted in me getting banned from several different clubs because of this fuss. And so I was trying to figure out, I don't know if it was, I thought it was about I think it was mostly about my comedy that she didn't like it, but it was also, she was trying to say that the way this is a person I just wasn't interacting with. And she had this idea that I was targeting her specifically with my jokes, that I was writing jokes about her, and that I would come up to her and like have threatening interactions with her, and that I was talking about her behind her back. None of which was true.
None of which was true, my guy.
Yeah. So none of that was real. And so, but there's one particular set where she was trying to whip everybody up against me. And I had this moment of real clarity where I was like, oh, if she could get everybody excited enough to take me out into the street and, light me on fire, she would. The reason that's not happening right now is because she can't make it happen. If she could, she would. And that was creepy because that's a human thing. Humans have done that at various points throughout history, and she felt like that needed to be done to me right in that moment. You know, you can kind of see it. It was kind of something like dark and old in the human species that was coming out in that moment, and that's kind of what's going on with the trans. That's what this guy would see. He's not the one who is whipping up it's kind of a one-man pitchfork mob is what I'm saying, was this guy. And normally it's the role of the women are like pointing who needs to get pitchforked, and then the beta simp orbiters is like, yeah, whatever you say, sweetheart, and then they just with the pitchforks, right?
There's got to be more context to that video. Like, what were they doing distinctively that sparked this whole thing?
Also, I'm assuming he said something transphobic to the pervert in the dress. That has to be
No, what I think it was is because if you looked at the way the Troon is dressed, he's really fucking ugly, wearing like a lot of tartan.
Yeah,
probably
dude,
made a joke about how goofy he looked. No, he legitimately probably just said to his friends, "Look how silly that guy looks."
Yeah.
Well, it is kind of silly because it's a man dressed like a really slutty woman. And it's odd.
That's slutty?
No. Yeah. He's dressed like he was trying out for the musical version of Heathers.
I thought it was in Ireland for a second looking at him.
That's a whore, by the way. I can clock him. That's a whore. So that's the thing. One of the reasons that you struggle so much, Nathaniel, is that you are completely unable to identify a whore when you see one.
Wait, you just called him Nathan and Nathaniel?
Yes. I've decided his name is.
You know it's serious when he uses.
That's right. I want you to know when I'm being serious, Nathaniel. So I'm addressing you by
full name,
your full Nathaniel Tiberius Hawthorne. Nathaniel Evelyn Hawthorne. I need you to listen to me, and that's what I'll do. So when I need to address him,
you can teach me.
That's right. You got to know. You got to at least know a whore when you see one. So, not saying you should get to know them as well as I have, but you got to be able to identify. This is what we call
pulling up the ladder.
It's part of the reason I've been going back to church recently.
Yeah, you should. No, that's probably the best thing you could do. And it's I'm not sure if the women in church are better. It probably depends on which church you're going to, but you probably got a better chance of meeting a woman with shared values. Woman. Yeah, a better chance than maybe at a nightclub. I think the chance
you won't have an Adam's apple.
Yeah, dude.
Well, depending on which church it is.
Right. Dude.
I don't think they let women with Adam's apples into my church.
Yeah. Well, you got to be careful with the women in bars because you can meet a woman in a bar, think everything's fine, and then find out she has an Adam's apple and a 10-pin up her dress. Shout out to Von Coleman.
I don't go to
It's tough. It's a mistake. We've all made it. Shout out Von Coleman. We've all made that mistake. It's all right. It's all right.
The real problem also is like most of the girls at bars or at churches are probably already married. Like they did that when they were like 20, just some marine shipping off.
No, well, that is an issue too. With if you want to meet non-woke, non-crazy women, which is really, what all of us should be aspiring to do is to meet non-woke, non-crazy women. You're gonna have a tough time because almost all women buy into the status quo, and right now the status quo is leftist insanity. Now the good news is when the status quo shifts, the women will shift with it. So. Once our baseline is a little more rational, assuming that happens, then you're going to be in a better place. And also, the women that are not bought into leftist insanity are probably, first of all, they're probably in the South, they're probably in more rural areas, and they're probably going to church. So Nate, I actually am very optimistic about your ability to meet one of these broads. Actually, so there's two things I want to do. I want to cover Arza's story, and then I'm done talking about Troons today. I want to do Emerald. I'll show you the video I want to talk about because this is going to be good. I want to do this with Nate here because I want to get Nate's reaction to this video. So, but first I want to do Arza's story. Arza, you recently seduced a woman against all odds. I didn't think this was possible, but it happened. There was a woman who found Arza attractive enough to speak to him. I'm surprised as everyone. Go ahead.
Okay, I was at. Oh God. Oh, okay, I'm big enough.
It's too much attention. It's too much attention. Go ahead, buddy.
Well, I was at Half Price Books earlier because they were having a
Nice.
20% off everything sale. So I got my little sister a book because she's reading the Silence of the Lambs series right now, and so I got her
Nice.
Hannibal because I showed her the movie, and it's now one of her favorite movies of all time, which is great. So I bought her the book, and now I bought her the sequel. I'm trying to find. I got a copy of Red Dragon coming in for her, which is a prequel. I also got this like Legend of Zelda 4-game collection.
Get to the woman.
I'm getting there. And so as I was walking around, because I hadn't decided how much money I want to spend, because even with 20% off, that was really expensive, and so was the Game Boy camera that I got.
Yeah.
Really. So while I was walking around, I was deciding, looking at some of the books, looking at what's on clearance anyway. I got Sky High, which is funny. But I saw this woman who had a copy of Serenity. So I'm like, great movie. Because she has a copy of Serenity. Like, she's looking at books, it's sitting on the floor, so it's right there. I'm like, fantastic movie. We talked for like 30 seconds about Firefly, and then I went about my business. And then later I came up, I'm like, hey, would you want to get coffee sometime? And she's like, tentatively, like she doesn't know because she's a home person. She doesn't leave the house very often. What she says, she's like, I don't leave the house very often, so maybe, possibly. And then we exchanged numbers, and then we went on our way. And then I messaged him like, hey, I realized I didn't introduce myself. She's like, yeah, I didn't introduce myself either. And so I'm like,
right,
well,
you guys are bad at this.
We can do that properly next time. So I got a girl's number. Well, after I asked her number, I asked her, I'm like, just be sure you are over 18, right? Which did get a joke. Because she was 27. Because you can never be. I'm like, you can never be too sick. You are over 18, right? And she thought it was funny, so it worked.
You're right. So kudos to her.
No, it's true. No, he's right though. I'm out here checking IDs. Yeah. Nah. And she got stretch marks. I'm checking IDs.
We joked about how people never know how old we are. So I joked that people think I'm 35, and she thought that was ridiculous. And she joked that people thought she was in high school, and I did not say that was ridiculous because that would be rude.
Excellent. Well done.
Good for you, bud.
Well done.
Awesome.
So yeah, let me know. We're definitely going to want a touch grass update on that. Here's the thing. The reason I like that story, although I have said Cold Approach is dead, and I still think Cold Approach is dead. At least there you're gathered in a place where common interests. If you're in a place you're interested in, your likelihood of meeting someone who shares your interest is exponentially higher. You know, so sometimes you got to go where the bitches are, but if you could meet bitches where you know,
I had no intention of meeting bitches. I just wanted to buy this really rare game. This game is really hard to find. I just wanted it.
Oh,
and then
God,
I saw there. I just said, great movie because it's a great movie, and I like to.
Right.
I want to improve conversational skills, and then I walked around for like 10 minutes debating if I should go up and talk to her again, and then I decided what the hell is there to lose. Walked up to her and just asked if she'd like to get coffee sometime.
Excellent. Good. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you did the best way, especially now when everyone's so sensitive. If you go in there super aggressive and you're like, you're hot, give me your phone number. Oh, let me give you your seed. A lot of people, even if they're into you, a lot of people are going to be repulsed by that, you know, especially in that kind of setting. Now, maybe at a bar or nightclub, that'd be different. But again, I don't meet women in bars for the same reason I don't drink out of the toilet. There's better places to do that. So
wait. I'm sorry. I'm a little behind here, but did you just say, give me your seed?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't.
Wait, why are you collecting the seed, Theo?
Mind your business. What
do you plan on doing with that?
Mind your business.
What's going on there?
Mind your business. Doesn't matter.
No, I don't think I will.
Moral of the story. I think that's exactly the right thing. Is just if you just get in the habit of talking to the people who are around you when you are at a place. That's
Arsa's got a girl and Theo's getting his seed.
What kind of opposite world are we living in here?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think this is exactly what I'm talking about. Your likelihood of meeting people goes up if you're just always talking to people everywhere you go. And now we're a decision. Even if nothing comes of this, we can tell that Arsa's got the right habits because he's created an opportunity for something to happen. Which, by the way, that puts you in the top 10% of Zoomers. Remember, I think it's half of men have never asked a woman out in their life. Half of men in your age demographic have never done it. So you're already in the top half.
Fair, this is the first time I've asked somebody out since high school.
Okay,
So
but
there
that
is
puts
that.
you in the top 50% of men your age. That's top 50% of your age demographic. Think about that. Just by putting forth an effort. This is what I always say. The bar is so low because nobody's even trying. So just by trying, that's like top 10% behavior. Remember, this girl's probably never, here's the thing, because guys are not asking, she's probably never been asked. So she's like, what do I even do? Like, you guys are both retarded. You didn't know to introduce yourselves. You don't know anything. You guys are both the same amount of retarded, though, which works in your favor.
Which I could tell that she was kind of like out of her element too. So I joked that I don't do this very much. So I made it clear.
Nice.
I'm also very nervous because I
Nice.
was really fucking nervous.
Nice.
I don't do that. So
Right.
I
If you
made a
hadn't
joke
said
about
that,
it.
she might have mistaken you for a womanizer.
Because I said I don't do this very often. And she said I don't do this very often either. So
That's right. And I think you're probably both telling the truth. I know you are. She definitely is. I'll just
she's a
just
bookstore,
sound ran through. And I know you're not. So yeah, I think that's yeah, and your likelihood of at least you're, and you're meeting people where you do things that you're interested in. So this is a
also,
great.
She wasn't in the romance section either. She was in the mystery section. She was looking at old books, not new books.
Nice. Okay. So she's not reading porn. Is what we're saying. Yeah, well, this is a big problem. This is great. We look forward to an update on that. Even if nothing happens, it's like this is still a victory. Even if nothing more happens after this is still a victory. And these are the kind of habits that will lead eventually to good things happening in your life. This is how jobs happen. This is how career opportunities happen. This is how romantic opportunities happen, friendships. Every single thing comes from just like talking to people and meeting people, because you have to talk to strangers to get opportunities you do not currently have. That's just how life works. So yeah, good job. Arza Chats, friend of the channel. Shout out to that. We will look forward to updates on that. So this ties in to this idea that I wanted to get. We're just going to close the show on this because I don't want to talk about Troons anymore. Because of the terminally online shit, Gen Z has no idea how to date. And millennials forgot, but Gen Z never learned. That's different. Like theoretically, millennials could knock the dust off and, pull on some old skills. Gen Z never fucking learned. So the problem is when something does happen, they get way too excited and they front load a lot of attention too quickly. This girl, go ahead, pull this up on stream.
Yeah, Theo will be getting a lot of questions very shortly.
You said you wanted my opinion on this?
Yeah, go ahead. Just pay attention to the video, and I want Nate especially pay attention. Nate and Arza, I really want to know what you guys think. Emerald, I want to know what you think too because you're here. But really, this is for you guys. Go ahead and play it.
This is a video to the guy who flaked on me on our date. I just wanted to show you what I was gonna bring to you. Now you're ghosting me last minute. So weird. So childish. So I'm Latina. I got you some tacos. Really good. From my favorite tacos place. I made you some homemade horchata. Agua horchata. Because you said you liked that and I made it. And some Mexican corn muffins with honey butter. Handmade. Let me know why you ghosted me. That's crazy. This is a video.
All right, go ahead.
And
Kick that off. Okay.
On me on our date.
That's done. Go ahead and hide that. Okay. What are our thoughts, gentlemen? What are we looking at here? This is presumably, to recap, this young woman made a bunch of food for a man that she knew on the internet but had not met in person. And then when he ghosted her, she had a big emotional meltdown on the internet. Go ahead. What do we think we're looking at here?
I didn't see a single tear. I think.
No. Well, she said she already crashed out. So she may have already had the big crash out. Okay. So this is just a minor crash out. Go ahead. What are we thinking here, gentlemen?
So I mean, I usually I'm all happy to make fun of whores, but I actually do feel bad for this woman.
Yeah.
So
Why?
we don't know how long they've been talking or if they've had other dates. She does not say, but I imagine she's not putting this much effort into a first date because also like you're not. I guess they're going for a picnic
don't
or
know,
something. Not usually a first date thing.
Some women do go out of their way to be a little extra like that. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but there are women out there that do take that extra mile or step for someone that they're really into.
It also doesn't quite sound like the date's actually happened yet. So it sounds like she got a message, I can't come. That's what it sounds like. I think she got a text saying he can't be there, but he didn't explain why. And now she's going into catastrophic mode.
Yeah.
Which
So
I can't blame her for.
So this is the thing. So this is what I'm saying is this is a totally normal amount of effort to put into someone that you've been dating for a long time. It is a bizarre amount of effort to put into someone that you have not even been on a single date with. So if this is for a first date, this is way too much. And also the tearless crying for attention is a red flag. I'm going to tell you something. This is not a nice thing, but if a woman is crying for an audience, you can assume the tears are performative.
Well, it's like I said, that was like
it's a performance.
Well, it's like I said, that was the first thing I noticed while watching this. I was like, she's crying, she's making the motions that she's crying, but there's not a single tear at all. Her face isn't plushed or red or anything like that. Like her eyes ain't glazed over. Like, I mean, there's nothing in this video to indicate that she's seriously upset. So is this a grift? Is this performative? Like,
So I think she's trying to farm sympathy from the internet for one, which is fine, which is kind of a red flag in itself. In general, you don't, because here's the thing. This was inevitable. It was inevitable. They would eventually have a conflict. Even if they continue to date, eventually they'd have a conflict and she would be upset. She would go to the internet with it. That was inevitable. So it's good that it happened here. Also, that much investment early is a bad sign, right? That is something to watch out for. And it can feel really awesome to be the center of that kind of attention, be on the receiving end of that kind of attention. But here's the thing. That's not going to last. That's temporary. Yeah. That is going to last until you cross her.
It could also be just a really massive indicator of like abandonment issues or attachment issues. Like she's so scared of like losing you that she's willing to go out of her way to do this, crazy things just to try and keep you in your life. And God forbid, like you said, if something happens, the entire world is going to come crashing down.
Not good.
Just like that. No,
it's not good. Now let's go ahead.
A group that wants to get away from shaming, the women doing this is an attempt at public shaming. For those that are, so yes, it is a red flag to go on the internet and do that. And unfortunately, also a lot of stereotyping going on in that video too.
Yeah. What are the comments on the video?
Yeah, the opinions are split because I do want to look at the comments and then I want to go in another direction with this. So actually, Emerald, if we could pull that up again, let's scroll through some of these comments. I'm kind of looking at it on my end too.
Yeah, because I can imagine there's probably maybe a split.
It is, yeah. You'd guess right. So the first top comment is, imagine the farts after those snacks. I'd commit genocide for her. So that's because it is X. He's one friend of the channel. He's under there. If she's crying on TikTok, I doubt she was that much of a catch. Classic BS Ward, classic misogyny take.
Are we sure that first commenter was not a stock account for Vagabond?
I was just gonna say this is a Vagabond alt account. I bet
only Vagabond would say he'd commit genocide for a wife or something.
Why do you think she advertised that she's Latina?
I think because Latinas have a reputation for being hot on the internet. I think that's part of it. And also part of it to explain why she cooked so many traditional Latin snacks.
As someone who's dated whose ex is a Latina, they do like to cook and cook a lot. So
Yeah, well, and here's one. This is a comment. I don't know, man. You'd have to get the guy's perspective on this one. I had a girlfriend like this, and she was an absolute psychopath. Yep. For a brief moment in time, she was the sweetest, most loving, caring person ever. But on a drop of hat, for no reason at all, she would go absolutely psycho.
That's how my
okay, so there's a comment. It's see the necklace. He got out just in time. Which
let's pull it up again. What necklace are we talking about here?
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Let me. You really don't see.
It's not like a pentagram.
Can we show it? Here, I'm going to show it on stream, Emerald, so we can kind of look at it. There we go.
It's a cross.
Is it a cross?
Is it?
Wait,
Yeah,
play it a bit more.
Yeah.
It just looks like a cross.
Yeah, I don't know what that's in reference to. Maybe he knows something I don't know.
You're right. It just looks like a traditional cross. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of guys. Okay.
Latina.
Yeah. Well, a lot of guys are saying are throwing out terms like borderline personality disorder.
Oh.
I don't. Oh, what is it?
Or the woman signal.
Okay, that changes it a little bit.
Oh, it is?
No, that's the female symbol.
It's an open circle top.
Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah, not good.
Yeah, that changes the whole perspective then.
Wait, hold on. Let me make sure that. Give me a second.
You should be able to like zoom in on that. Like if you
not on X video like that.
Oh, but also if you look at her makeup is designed to make your eyes look red anyway.
Yeah.
Like you can tell the writing on her eyes. Like if it goes all the way back over here, it's clearly makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We thought the same thing as you and I, Theo. He thought it was vagabond immediately.
Yeah. Well, that's what
we should ask him.
Bro, is this you? No, I'm saying though, like that. So a lot of people throwing out. I don't like to throw out the medical terms like borderline personality disorder, but I know I smell crazy when I see it. And so if girl dumps a lot of positive attention on you and heaps a lot right, well, especially if you're not used to it, that can feel really good. But I promise you, there's a flip side coming. And as soon as you upset her or disappoint her in any way, that flip is coming. So I think it's very tempting to look at something like that and be like, oh, I'd love to do that. It's like, you just don't know what's on the other side of it, bro.
And it's always the thing where you piss them off and then, they immediately beat you over the head with, oh, well, look at all this good stuff I've done for you.
Right.
Are you not grateful for what I've done?
And that's what she's doing in this video. She's using guilt to try to get at the guy. Now, let me ask you something. What does it look like when men do this to women? Because they do.
Oh, they're bullied into the fucking dirt for doing this.
Right.
Shit.
Well, that's right. But it's like, so the women are in a situation where there's a guy who buys them a ton of gifts and takes them out to somewhere expensive, but they're not that into him. Right. Mm-hmm. And then when that happens, you get the trope of the Reddit nice guy, which I guess I think is outdated. I don't know. I think we might have beaten the last nice guy to death with a bat. I don't think there's any of those left.
I don't know why, but when someone says nice guy, I immediately think of Cal from Megamind.
When you mentioned that, so actually no. My most recent video was actually on this. The nice guys have done something else. They're now doing what was the trend called? There's a special trend that they're doing that makes
doing podcasts too, are they?
No, they're
playing D&D.
The performative man. It's the performative man.
Oh, so they're male feminists.
They're male feminists, and so the nice guys are now all male feminists who are. I'm soft. I'm effeminate, and I'm probably gay, and I'm dressed like Hassan Piker. I've got my labubu. I've got my matcha drink. Don't worry, girlies. You're safe with me until no one's looking.
Yeah, and it's
one comment. One comment on here is she was preparing to be impregnated on that date.
Yeah.
How do we know the guy wasn't Theo? He's the one preparing his seat after all. I mean, no, I'm kidding.
A lot of comments of
mind your business, Dave.
They got into an argument or she got angry, there'd be some stabbiness going on.
Not every Latina is gonna stab you, dude. Like, what?
No, that's not. Nate, stop spreading misinformation. Emerald is right.
One person said he should have smashed eight, and then dashed.
Nope. And here's the thing. All the guys who get laid know she's crazy. The guys who've never been laid think that they would marry her. That's the issue. It's the distinction. It's, have you actually dealt with a woman like this? And it's the same thing with like nice guys. A lot of women are like, oh, I want a guy that does this, and this. But that guy that, you know, does all that buy-in and investment and all that stuff right away, a lot of times he's just trying to, you know, make you feel like you owe him, you know, because he doesn't have, you know, he's not.
From Saint Wannabe at Retarded Sinner. Where's the reaction?
Good question.
Where's the reaction? Where essentially that's really, it's just like, this is what I brought. Yeah. You ghosted me, but this is what you missed. This is what I brought. Yeah. Okay. There's really no there's really no reaction there.
Well, once again, she's not really crying over this.
No, yeah, this is so one time I had this girl that I was ostensibly just friends with, and I noticed there was a turn in our relationship where she was trying to like make things more sexual, even though she had a boyfriend. And I was like, no, bro, I know your boyfriend. That's not cool. And then her boyfriend bailed on her. And she cried me, and it was just like this. She was like, she called me like late at night one time, and she was like crying over the phone. Like I could hear her crying. And I got there, no tears in her eyes. It was just to get me over there because her boyfriend was off, you know, doing some dirt. Like I think he had left her for the side chick or whatever. And so she was like activating the emergency dick. You know what I'm saying? To get revenge with the guy she told him not to worry about. She's like, all right, he's available now. So it's like
she jumped off his and tried to come right to yours.
So
yeah, she had a backup plan. So
from Retarded Daywalker.
What are these names? What is going on here?
Friend of the channel, Retarded Daywalker. Go ahead.
This is who stabbed me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, is it looks nice until it happens to you, and then it's terrifying, and then they stab you. People ask me why so many women have pulled knives on me. It was always a chick like this that pulled a knife on me every single time. You know,
how many times, Theo?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about how many times.
How many of these women were you trying to give your seed to?
I already a lot of. Well, here's the thing. That stuff happens. That stuff happens after they've already started fucking you. That's the issue. It's like then they go crazy. That's why it's best to circle around them. It's best to not involve yourself.
Yeah.
And that's why, this is why I'm saying you have to filter these women out before you fuck them. Because once you start fucking them, if you find out they're violent and crazy, it'll be very tempting to stay in it. Because women who are violent and crazy are also the best at sex. And not going to name names, there's certain people on this panel who don't find it super easy to get sex. And if you were to find a crazy woman with incredible punani, you know, you might be like, I'm going to leave her this time. And then she puts it on you and you're like, I can stick out. What's a stab wound? You know, it's just a scratch, really. I mean, you only live once.
Look, I've penetrated her so many times, she might as well penetrate me once.
That's no, horny jail. Horny jail. No.
I didn't say pegging, which we know is permissible under the Lord.
We knew what you were trying to say without saying it.
So from philosopher thought, THOT provoker,
based. Philosopher thought, friend of the channel.
Bro, the hair clip on the mirror, the dude definitely missed out on a great BJ.
Oh yeah.
No, that's true. That's the thing. This woman would have like blown his mind, but then
she was gonna eat him
I'd get some extra high insurance rates for some roadhead.
No, but that's the thing. It's like you get that's the thing. These kind of relationships, they start off at a high. It's very exciting. It's very like sexually adventurous. It's you're being told how great you are all the time. And then something bad happens and there's the first crash out. And then she decides she's not mad at you anymore, but it's not as good as it was at the beginning, but you still think it'll get back to this point. So you're still addicted to it. And then there's the next crash out, which is worse than the first one. And then that, and it goes down, 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 down. But you got addicted up here and you're chasing this high and you're like, how can we get back to this? Never going to happen. Not going to happen. And people lose years of their lives trying to get back to this, and it's never happening. People marry women like this. In fact, women like this are very easy to get married because they find guys, respectfully, like you fuckers, who don't know any better, and they'll put punani on you, and you'll be like, this is great. And they'll drain you of your DNA, and then you'll put a ring on it. And then you'll be like, fuck, this is a crazy woman. She's going to stab me. And then, but you're like, fuck, I'm already in.
And then you want to
sexually adventurous is code for pegging. Thank you. Music. Back to the nice thing, for fuck's sake. Yes, dude. I'm telling you, I know a stabby woman when I see one, and that woman looks mighty stabby to me. Now, I'm just saying. That's
okay, counterpoint though, Theo. Counterpoint. If you are one of those prawn addicts we talked about earlier who fell down the rabbit hole into knife play, that might not be a problem.
No, that's true. That's
still
true.
So absurd to me. Like,
and that's the other thing too is like if you want to try out some weird shit you saw in porn, this is the kind of woman you can do that with immediately. I will say that. So that
experience again?
Yeah. So shout out to Pegging, friend of the channel. All right. Yeah, dude. So I'm saying there's reasons to
Give
do
me
it.
Father, for I have sinned.
But not by Pegging.
I'm not disputing it. Bro, did you just say knife play? Yeah, dude. Ours is into some freaky shit. I don't know if you heard.
Okay, no.
I am not at the bookstore.
I knew a girl who was into it. And I almost dated her until a friend told her a bunch of lies. And
it didn't put you off. It was you would have dated her if not for PR.
I knew this girl for years. She was my middle school crush, and then we spoke. I was going to go to college in the same state as her anyway. We re-linked, and then we were going to date. And then my friend, who had never met her, told her a bunch of lies, and then got her to not like me anymore, and then dated her. And now they're in the most abusive, toxic relationship I've ever heard of.
Nice. Based, by the way.
So
Good strategy. Based friend. Based. All's fair in love and war. If you must lie about your friends to smash, do it.
Especially if you save him from years of torment and anguish.
Yeah, that's the thing. You could have. How old was this woman that she was into knife play?
We were 18 or 17.
God damn it. This the fucking Zoomers, I'm telling you, they're all addicted to porn and fucked up. It was like,
I also know that shortly after that, her mom died and she became trans or non.
That's what I'm saying. They're all fucked up. It's like, dude, I'm telling you, I knew this girl in San Diego. She came over to my house, didn't know her name. And then within 10 minutes of being there, she was like, you can pee on me. You can do whatever. I don't give a fuck. What? And I'm just like, what? I'm just like, no, we're going to cuddle and watch a Disney movie. And you're going to tell me what your father did wrong. This is crazy. Jesus Christ. First of all, also, if we're being honest, that really is more of a third date conversation, don't you think? I mean, just the first, it's such an intimate thing to do with a stranger. You know what I mean?
I think you should know their middle name before you
dude, or their first name.
Julia pees on me, Hansen.
She pulls up to my crib in an Escalade, bumps the curb, stumbles out and spills her drink, and she says, "Sorry, this is my mom's car." And I was like, "Sweetheart, before we get started, what is your name?" Because she was just going by the first letter on Tinder. She was a sweetheart, though. I really liked her. She was a good girl, man. Very crazy, though. Very, very, very crazy, and had a violent streak. Did a lot of cocaine. Sweet girl, though. Liked her. Shout out to girlfriend of the channel. Not going to name check you. She's getting married. Or I recently got married, which means she followed my advice. Because when I knew her, I told her, I was like, sweetheart, you're going to have to stop hoeing a couple of years before you want to get married. If you're trying to get married at 26, you got to stop hoeing a couple of years prior to that, so you got time to detox from all the dick you've been taking. It takes a while to. It does. It takes a while to reformat your brain from hoeing to marriage. It takes time. There's a detox period.
I feel great for her. She found someone that would pee on her.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. Way older though. Way older. Of course, I was quite a bit older than her, but she went with a guy who was like way older.
I don't understand some of these kinks, man. What's wrong?
No, me either. But that's my point. Is like Zoomers are fucked up. They're like retarded from porn. It's like zonked them out. It's bad, dude. It's not
That's what we
good.
were discussing earlier. You know, they look at the porn, they need a better orgasm, so they keep trying to get better orgasms. Like, well, the guy in the video really liked that. So if I sell myself as the girl in that video,
right,
the guy will like me just as much as he liked the girl.
Yeah, and it's like, and I tried to tell her, she kept trying to get me to do like gnarly shit to her. She's like, call me a fat pig. And I'm like, can I not? I don't want to do this.
If I'm just having sex with you and you all of a sudden just start pissing on me, I'm gonna throw you across the room. Like,
well, don't knock it if you haven't tried it. And plus, squirt is mostly piss. So come on, if you're doing a good job, you might get pissed on anyway.
There's a difference between squirting because I made an orgasm and you standing up and just pissing on me. Okay, there's a difference.
Extra lubrication.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Well, that's yeah. So Weasel raises a valid point. So if Knife Play Girl called you up right now, are you still smashing?
No, because I found out how deranged she was with how she treated my ex-friend.
Nice. Okay. So you dodged a bullet on that one, I think.
Yeah, no. So from what I understand,
yeah,
they ended up in a cycle where they kept divorcing not divorcing. They weren't married. They kept breaking up with each other.
Kept getting married and divorcing.
They kept breaking up with each other and then threatening to kill themselves. And then they get back together. And then they keep doing that. And I think they might have, I don't know if they ever got physical because I don't know if they were ever close enough to punch each other. Because they never actually met. They were dating and abusive before they ever met in person.
What? Jesus. What?
Okay.
What the fuck is going on here?
This is Zoomer behavior. This is the most Zoomer coded.
I met this girl in seventh grade when I was living in Massachusetts. I was living in Massachusetts.
Was her dad ever in the picture?
He was ancient. Both of her parents were ancient and in terrible health. So I went down to Maryland in 8th grade. I lived there for a few years, and I had this friend. And he was a bad friend. I should not have hung out with him, but we played Overwatch. So we hung out because we were the only ones who played Overwatch. And like he had this ex who he had a crazy ex, but it was really his fault. And I didn't know that at the time. And that caused a lot of issues between us. And so we rekindled our friendship after not being friends for a year because of Among Us. This is all because of Among Us, by the way. Because she wanted to play Among Us with me. All because of Among Us. And so at one point in time, him and I have the same sleep pattern of non-existence. So we're talking and I tell him some things and we're like talking about her. And like, I tell her a bunch of things. So he takes what I tell her, changes it up to make it sound significantly worse, tells her all of that. And then like a month before I go up there, puts her and me in a struggle session where I get shamed and she loses most of the respect she had for me because she believed his lies. And then her mom dies. They start dating. And then they become super abusive. They meet each other in Massachusetts like once. And then he goes back to Maryland. And from my understanding, they lasted I don't know if they're still together now, but they were together for like 2 years. And for the entire period, it was a super overly abusive relationship.
That's crazy. This is why we have a birth rate crisis because of shit like this.
And here's the thing. The thing that like really got her, right? So her parents are old and in bad health. So I'm like, I don't know if I could date her because I don't think I could support her as a boyfriend if her parents died. Reasonable thing to say. It's not easy to do that. So he told her that I don't want to date her because there would be too many funerals.
Or did you just not want to wipe her parents' asses?
Well, her mom then died like 2 weeks later. So
okay.
There was that.
That's a relief. All right.
Only one left to deal with.
That's crazy. Oh my god.
Hopefully consumers are fucked.
Well,
it is not easy to be one of us.
No, it's not. Like, dude, that's crazy. Like, it's hopefully things go better with the bookstore girl. Yeah, but like Zoomer girls especially are cooked. Like, I kind of thought that was kind of my retirement plan, you know, when I was walking away from the man whore life. I knew it was going to happen right about now. And I was like, okay, I'll just get one of these Zoom. And then, no, they're all.
Well, no, there are some good ones, but they're either only dating older men or they're already married.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, they're mostly already. Most of the good ones are already married. Like the good ones get snatched up quick, and that's even more true now because there's so few good ones. Yeah. So The best, yeah. So you gotta kind of be discerning, and I would say don't waste your time getting sexually involved with someone that is a pain in the ass or crazy. If you can at all avoid it, don't waste time. If you take her out on a couple of dates and she's just a pain in the ass, just don't even bother. Just keep it pushing. Don't ghost her because that's cowardly. Be like, hey, sweetheart, I'm getting out of here. Take it easy. Wish you the best. Blah blah blah. All right. Goes to find cement Mary statue in yard to give offering to it. Praise rosary. This stream might be required to do this in Latin. This stream might require Aramaic. Or not your wife, right? Well, obviously, like you shouldn't fuck people you're not married to. But like, I know you guys aren't, Catholic, so it's like, I have to make the best with what I have a secular audience for better or for worse. So I can't hold them accountable to my standards. I will try to bully you all into Catholicism if I can.
Look, if I'm going to become a Christian, I'll become a real Christian. Thank you very much.
There you go. Every dating story I've heard from anyone born after 99 makes me happy to be old and married.
Oh,
yeah,
Weasel, you want to know how my first... Theo, did I ever tell you how my first relationship went?
No.
I was with this girl for a month or 2 months. And this was in 8th grade, so I was still in.
Okay.
No, wait. This was in 9th.
So
grade.
it wasn't a relationship.
I was a freshman in high school, and she broke up with me because her best friend threatened to end their lesbian role play that I did not know about.
What?
Because she was spending too much time hanging out with me.
Where do you find these fucked up chicks, man?
In class. I was in a class with her, and I thought she was cute, and she was kind of alternative. And so her best friend and her had a fake romance, not a real romance, a fake romance they were role playing, where they were lesbian lovers. In the fake romance, in the fake thing, they were lesbian lovers.
Ours, I hate to break it to you, they were lesbians. Okay,
one of them was.
One of them was a lesbian. One of them was a lesbian.
Yeah,
I do know that because she actually was into her. Now, we hung out a lot. Like we hang out, we watch like Johnny Depp movies. Because why the fuck not? Like we watched a lot of Sweeney Todd because she was really into Sweeney Todd, and like we'd hang out a lot. And so I was in a group chat with a bunch of her friends where her friend told her to break up with me because she was spending too much time with me.
Oh fuck! So you're spending too much time with your boyfriend. It's getting into the way of our lesbian role plays. Therefore, you have
that is why that was how my first relationship ended.
Jesus,
and you wonder why Zoomers don't fucking date.
No, Zoomers are you got totally cooked, totally cooked. Totally cooked. And the Zoomer girls, they just don't know how to. They don't know how to act at all. They don't know how to act. The Zoomers are. Here's the thing: the Zoomer girls are just as cooked. So when they're shrieking at you guys, like, "Why don't you guys do that?" It's like, nope, you can, because I know how to do all the things. And if you do all the things, they're like, ah! They don't know what to do. They're just like, they're retarded sheep. They're so far behind developmentally. It's kind of wild, but. It's the guys and the girls, but we're acting like it's just the guys because, God forbid we hold women accountable. And also the other thing about the Zoomer girls is they can just date millennial men who do know what to do. And so it looks like they know what to do, even though they don't necessarily. It's just whatever. I would think another trend, I don't have a ton of time. I want to wrap the show up pretty soon, but another trend I'm noticing is like a lot of therapy speak. So Zoomers will know all about relationships, but they won't have ever actually had one. So they're scared of love bombing and gaslighting and breadcrumbing and ghosting. And they'll know all of the therapy speak for what a relationship is and how it's supposed to go. And they will never have they'll have no practical experience in the matter. That is super common. And that, I think, is maybe the most unhealthy attitude. So, like, that really fucks you. You're hamstrung if that's what you're going to do, because I think you're wildly overthinking it, and you're in a place of just constant fear of what might go wrong, And, what's up, Sherry? How you doing, girl? Shout out to the 4%.
Keep in your pants.
I love the audience. I have the best audience on the internet, and the 4% is the best selection of women on the internet. Felt bad. Home Math was just like doom posting the other day on Twitter about how there's no good women left, and I'm like, bro, hang out in my chat. Hang out in my chat. I got all the good ones here, dude. Come on.
Yeah, Home Math doom posting is not the thing he wants to be doing for his brand.
No, dude. I want him to have hope. Seriously, come on, man. Anyway,
I heard she's nice.
Yeah, dude. Okay. Dude, by the way, this is coming soon. Stripper D&D, right, Nate? We're gonna make this happen. We're gonna have D&D with strippers.
At some point, we're gonna have to make it happen.
I know this is a good idea. I believe in this. This is the best idea I've ever thought of. I know it's gonna happen. We're gonna have to make it happen. All right, folks. Listen, it's been over 2 hours. We've been doing this for a while. It's time to wrap up the show. It's been that time again. So let's go ahead and do our outros, starting at the top. Arza Chats, you are here. You create content for people. You are gay. What? What kind of?
What'd you just say? Bookstore girl.
What kind of bookstore girl? What kind of degenerate nonsense have you created lately? That and if bookstore girl, she might be watching. What's up, bookstore girl? What's up, Shotty? How you doing? Come on in. Come on into the chat. Join the 4%. We love you. I love you already.
Actual name, and we're just gonna keep calling her bookstore girl.
I'm just gonna keep calling her bookstore girl until she earns her spot.
But yes, I create content. I do videos.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, that's right. Come on, bro. You're not new here. You know what I'm about.
Arza, real quickly, after the first date, she needs to come on Touch Grass.
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah, after the first date, I'll tell this girl who I just met that I'm on a podcast. That's going to go swimmingly. That's exactly how you keep a girl.
Try telling her, okay, listen, it's not that kind of podcast. It is that kind of podcast, but you can tell her it's not.
It's literally the worst kind of podcast. We are on the worst kind of podcast.
Arza, you need to look at her dead in the face and go, I'm not trying to make you nervous, sweetheart, but I'm on this podcast with this really great guy.
Bro, listen,
None of you
I
are
did
really
think,
great guys.
I did think that. No, I thought when I was starting this podcast that I was ending my bloodline. I really thought that was going to be it for me. I thought I was just never going to get laid again. And
this is that kind of podcast.
No, because it is that kind of podcast. I was like, because I got into this argument with the stripper because Vaughn told her I was doing a podcast and said she should come on. And I was like, and she's like, oh, men in podcasts. Oh, don't you ever run out of thing to say? Now, men in their podcasts. I was like, listen, it's not that kind of podcast. Okay, it is that kind of podcast. I'll be honest with you, but it's not as bad as you think it is. I promise it's not. So anyway, I think Bookstore Girl would like my show. I really do. I think here's the thing. I'm optimistic. I think she'd be part of the 4% because that's one thing I noticed. It's like, yeah, my audience is like 4% female, but it's the coolest chicks on the internet are in my chat. That's it. So it's all the chicks I interact with now are cool. So that helps a lot with like filtering it down, and they kind of come to you. So that's great. Shout out 4%. We love you guys. All right, go ahead, Arza. You have content that you're trying to show.
I put out videos, couple videos a week, usually 2 to 3, talking about whatever I want to talk about. Maybe it's a video game, movies, pop culture. I'm arguing with some kind of dumb trans person. Anything I want to talk about, I put videos up. And they're usually insightful. They're fun. They're witty. I talk fast. And yeah, they're enjoyable to some people. Check it out. They're great. And I might be live streaming soon. I might figure that out. Who knows?
Excellent. Yeah, let me
10
know.
away from 400.
Excellent. Go ahead and go subscribe to Arza. That's going to be a great thing. It's going to be good, especially when that live stream kicks off. That's going to be, you're not going to want to miss that. Full Metal Nate. Arza's met a woman and you haven't. This must be embarrassing for you. Care to respond?
Well, I'm trying to look for women in the right places, so that's a start.
Hey, there we go.
I do need to make a more valiant attempt to get out of my house more on the weekends. It's just a matter of money for me, dude. Like, I don't like getting out of the house unless I got money to go do things.
Absolutely.
Places BDSM clubs.
Not good. Not good. That's where Arza's parents met. Not good. Arza's parents, friend of the channel. Perversion.
Everyone in my family has seen this show. I can say that. My mom has. My mom doesn't like it though. My dad has. He watches it. My mom's a feminist.
She doesn't bring her on the show.
So your dad is
what about your twin sister with daddy issues? Does she like it?
My twin sister doesn't have daddy issues.
Didn't she get knocked up by a guy twice her age?
Well, she did, yes. But
there you go.
That was her first. That was her first heterosexual relationship.
Yeah, lesbian, daddy issues, older men, daddy issues. I rest my case.
be fair, my twin sister or my little sister wants to get on my channel to complain about smut, so that's funny.
Oh, okay.
She really hates book talk, so she wants to get on my channel to complain about book talk.
That's
I might let her
awesome.
One day.
That'd be awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, that's good. Anyway, Nate, before I get too caught up talking about our sister, what are you up to? What are you up to?
Well, obviously, we are 1 week away from the launch of the third and final season for Curse of Strahd. That's going to be on Sunday of next week. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Lord.
God.
Ours is Mom. Shout out Ours is Mom. If you want to come watch the show, that'd be great. I think if you just met me, you'd like me.
Later.
That's what I always think with feminists. I always think if they just met me, they'd like me. Anyway, Nate, I'm sorry. I've interrupted your outro 4 times. So-
Curse of Strahd, the third and final season, is launching next weekend on Sunday at 5 p.m. EST. Hopefully I get home in time for that. I've been working on campaign 2 behind the scenes that will probably launch maybe a month or 2 after Strahd is done. Working on a new show where I bring on people who have never played D&D before, and I just put them through the ringer, and at the end they tell me if they liked it or not. When I'm not doing any of that nerdy nonsense, you can find me here on Touchgrass with Theo Snodgrass every Saturday at 2 p.m. EST my time, because that's God's time. You can find me on the Weekend Rogues Gallery as well over on Iron Oxide's channel. There's a lot of good stuff going on over there, and he just recently passed 700 subscribers, so go subscribe to him so we could get him to 800 next. If I'm not on either of their channels, you can usually find me on Third Ralify's channel on Rumble. He and Gina do a lot of good stuff over there, and they usually have a lot of fun. But yeah, that's it for me, dude.
I was topless on his show last night for most of the show. So
you guys were all topless the other night. It was really weird. I was like, I don't know if I want to watch this.
Okay, disavow. Not endorsed. Keep your clothes on.
I had
speaking of people who should keep their clothes on. Drunk Emerald Arrow, 99 overall producer. You are here. Happy to see you. Couldn't do the show without you, so I have to be nice. What kind of stuff do you get up to when you're wearing clothes? Hopefully, right? Go ahead.
Coming up on Tuesday is Nerds Covering the News at 6 p.m. PST over on my channel. Wednesday at 7 p.m. PST over on Devil Made Me Do His channel is Make Me a Sandwich. Then on Friday is Weekly Rogues Gallery, and I'm going to be jumping more often in with Gina and Sean on Fridays. And then Saturday morning, 8:30 a.m. PST, we have Cavecast. We were off this week. We'll be back next week for Catwoman. Then 11 o'clock here for Touchgrass with Theo Snodgrass. And then starting next Saturday at 7 p.m. PST, back on my channel is the return for season 2 of Insert Title Here.
Excellent. Drunk Emerald Arrow makes some great content. You're definitely going to want to check that out. Full Metal Nate makes some great content. If you want to know all about D&D, if you want to watch some fun D&D adventures, you want to see some good dungeon mastering, go ahead and check that out. Drunken Emerald Arrow. Make sure to check out Insert Title Here. Very cool stuff that he does. Every show that he produces on, the production is immaculate. The hosting varies a lot. I'll be honest with you. Hosting varies a lot depending on who he's producing for. Obviously here, excellent hosting. Other places, not as good. Not as important. Not as important that you watch those shows. This one's the one you want to see. My name is Theo Snodgrass, by the way. I'm your host. I'm a comedian and podcaster in Las Vegas, Nevada. I do a little show called Touchgrass with Theo Snodgrass. That's right here, 11 a.m. Pacific time every Saturday. But you really want to check in. I got my new show Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. I've got Theocracy. That's my solo show. No panel, just me. Just me riffing. So that's going to be a lot of fun. If you want to keep track of all the releases and stuff, make sure to follow me on YouTube. And that's where I'm going to be putting like comedy videos and stuff like that. It's best to subscribe to the Patreon and buy stuff for the merch store because that will help keep me living indoors. And also, there's going to be a bunch of new stuff coming up on the Patreon soon. As soon as we get this, we got a bunch of video footage and backlog that we need to get edited and released. So I'm going to be shooting a new crowd work show in October, hopefully, if everything falls into place. So we'll get another one of those on the Patreon. Eventually, my goal is to just have a bunch of crowd work shows on the Patreon. So that'll be a lot of fun. to do. And if you want to see me doing live comedy for the next couple of months, you're going to have to come out to Las Vegas, Nevada. Keep track of me. Follow me on X, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook. That's the best way to keep track of that. Really, though, the place you want to follow me is YouTube, because that's where all the stuff is going to be. I just hit 107 subscribers. Still a very small account. I have been called criminally undersubscribed to so many times that it's actually a little bit offensive, because it feels like a backhanded compliment. It's like, okay, if this guy were only better at social media, God, that'd be
Any
great.
of us really good at mastering social media?
No, that's why you're on this show and not fucking Asmongold. I wouldn't be here if you had better options. I know that. I'm not that vain. I get it. Okay, you're just here because New Blackstreet didn't want you. Let's just be honest.
I'm just here because Matt Mercer didn't want me on Critical Role. No,
Yeah, dude. Shout out Matt Mercer, friend of the channel, good guy. Yeah, so go ahead, follow me on YouTube. That's actually the really important one. Just follow me on YouTube, and everything else will take care of itself. All right. Yeah, and come out and see me do live comedy. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of big announcements on that coming up in the next couple of months. So it's going to be very, very cool building a next year. It's going to be a while before I'm on the road again, but I will be sure to keep you guys updated about all of my tour stops and everything. It's going to be a lot of fun. If I'm coming to a town near you, please come out and see me. Please buy merch. Also, coming up before the end of the year, I'm going to be releasing a comic book. We just finished the second draft. It's in editing right now, and we are looking for an artist called I Can Fix Her, slated for release later this year. It's a semi-autobiographical story of a man. He's a demon hunter who gets back together with his half-demon ex-girlfriend, loosely based on true events. So it's a lot of fun. And yeah, dude, it's going to be a lot of fun. So anyway, that was a lot of fun. I don't have an outro set up for this show yet. So we're doing a hard out now. Take it easy, folks. God bless you. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Take it easy.